a reputation for caring, a legacy of service. At Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, it's been our story since 1880. A family-owned business, we support the needs and wishes of families. We offer traditional services, as well as many options for cremation, customized remembrances, and pre-planning. Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations retains its family atmosphere and stays true to its roots. Contact us for advanced planning, or at your time of loss. We're here when you need us.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
This is Ben Copenhaver, your local alarm professional at Dynamark Atlantic Security. Did you know that home break-ins are 6% more likely during the day? That's right. The bad guys know when you're away, and they are smarter than you think. Dynamark Atlantic Security has the security solutions for you. Don't commit the error when the game is on the line. Phone me today at 304-671-2158 to learn how to play good defense against the bad guys. Dynamark Atlantic Security. Call today at 304-671-2158.
I have somewhat of an aggressive personality. People will tell you that it's not always a good thing. I wanted to have a clothing line that represented me and what I am, but also somebody else. When I came up with aggressive, it stands for actively giving, righteously executing, and sincerely vigorous. Anybody can do that. You know, from a small child doing a good deed or holding the door for someone, or to having somebody pump gas for somebody else. Anybody can do that. Aggressive Clothing is a company that I started to try to be able to give back to local vets, first responders, and law enforcement. My grandfather and 7 other brothers of his were all in the Navy. They were in Pearl Harbor, and this was my way to be able to give back, whether it be doing charitable donations or networking, helping them get jobs, anything I can do to help.
Is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Hey. The following sports special is a broadcast presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg.
Dear Lord, the battles we go through life.
Dear Lord, the battles we go through life.
We ask for a chance is fair.
We ask for a chance is fair.
Chance to equal our strife. Chance to do it there.
Chance to do it there.
We should win.
We should win.
Let it be by the code.
Let it be by the code.
Faith and honor held high.
Faith and honor held high.
We should lose.
We should lose.
Stand by the road.
Stand by the road.
Cheers, the winners go by.
Cheers, the winners go by.
Day by day.
Day by day.
We get better and better.
We get better and better.
So we can't beat.
We can't beat.
Who let the dogs out?
It's time for the excitement of West Virginia high school football, featuring the AAA Martinsburg Bulldogs. To get you ready for today's play-by-play action, we'll bring you interviews, in-depth analysis, and important game information on the pregame show. So let's get things started by going to the stadium and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
And a very pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome into Moomaw Stadium on the campus of Hedgesville High School, where tonight it's the Eagles playing host to the Martinsburg Bulldogs in an Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference matchup. For Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10 Sports, I'm Matt Miller along with Spencer Dupuis. John Alderton running a camera along with Donald Kinney down on the sideline. Our sideline reporter also operating a camera is Colin McLaughlin. Donna Schaffner is today's on-site producer, and Nick Verzolini, our engineer, back at the studio. Getting ready to go for this matchup as the Hedgesville Eagles come in 2 wins, 2 losses on this season, while the Martinsburg Bulldogs come in at 4-0. Hard to believe that, Spencer, we are already at the midpoint of the year.
Yeah, we were talking to all the coaches this week, and I was like, when I was prepping for the interviews, I was like, oh, we're already in week 5. Wow, it's gone by so fast.
It certainly has, and for Martinsburg to be 4-0 at this moment in time, certainly an accomplishment when you look through their schedule. A tough matchup to open the season on the road at Salem, but came away with a 35-21 win. Then a matchup at Musselman, the Applemen in a bit of a rebuilding year, and certainly going through the injury bug that has hampered their team, but Martinsburg came away with a 56-14 win in that one. Finally, a home game in week 3, a 58-7 win against Sharando, and last weekend, arguably one of the bigger wins, not only for this year, but really in program history, as they went on the road to take on a Virginia 5A school and came home with a 26-25 win over Highland Springs.
Yeah, heck of a game, and they got consistency from all 3 sides of the ball. The kicking game came up clutch on last Friday night.
Absolutely. The defense made some big stops and plays as well, including, there was the Hail Mary headed to the end zone right at the end of the ball game, and obviously the offense came through as Martinsburg put up 483 total yards and had some really big plays, a couple of runs that went for over 50 yards and a touchdown pass for over 70 yards. The Dogs hoping to bring some of those big plays into this one here tonight. Meanwhile, for the Hedgesville Eagles, 2 wins and 2 losses has this team going in the right direction. Spencer, they went 0-7 a year ago. The season cut short due to the COVID virus and the county being shut down. But it was a season under first-year head coach Matt Faircloth and his staff that there were obvious growing pains, especially on the offensive side of the football. So to come into this matchup today, after a loss against Washington in the opener, we saw them in that one, to bounce back with a 14-12 win here at home against Warren County, Virginia, and then a shutout win here at home, 28-0 over East Fairmont.
That 14
That's right.
At Spring Mills because of the weather.
There you go, because of the weather.
Spring Mills game versus Washington had canceled due to Washington COVID issues. But yeah, definitely this Hedgesville team is definitely taking advantage of being able to be around each other a lot more, being able to be in the weight room together. Just the camaraderie of bonding, I think, is something that they've been able to do this season and in the preseason, compared to what they weren't able to do last year under first-year head coach Faircloth.
Now, last week was a tough one. Went on the road to Morgantown. It took one on the chin. 62-20 was the final in that one, and then had some issues with a bus ride home and a bus driver not being very responsible at all. Ultimately didn't get back until almost 5 o'clock in the morning, and so a lot falling on their shoulders from last weekend. But, hey, hopefully they've been able to put that behind them and come out here today knowing they've got a tough challenge against these Bulldogs.
Yeah, and I think just the ability to build on each game of the season. That we've talked to Coach Faircloth multiple times, and he said, it's just kind of making sure you know where you are, and as he says, alignment assignment football. That's his big phrase that he says almost every single time, at least once that we're talking to him. And I think each game this team's improving. Being able to score more and more on offense is something that they didn't score at all last year.
Well, 10 points in 7 games, 1 touchdown in the opening game, and then did not get in the end zone for the next 6. So, yep, clearly they are taking strides in the right direction. Again, though, very big test here today against a Martinsburg team that should arguably be competing for a AAA state championship by the end of the year. All right, that is our matchup. Beautiful weather for this one. After an awful lot of rain over the last couple of days, this natural grass field looks to be in great shape. The players are out there, their specialty units, some receivers and quarterbacks beginning to stretch and loosen, and it all looks good on a beautiful sunny evening where our game time temperature will be in the lower 70s and dipping into the 60s as we go. It's a great night for high school football. Well, we'll find out what else is going on around the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference coming up next. Spencer has our check of the area schedule. The pregame show brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Phone them at 304-350-1931 or go to WHMsystems.com. This is West Virginia High School Football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
I have somewhat of an aggressive personality. People will tell you that it's not always a good thing. I wanted to have a clothing line that represented me and what I am, but also somebody else. When I came up with aggressive, it stands for actively giving, righteously executing, and sincerely vigorous. Anybody can do that. You know, from a small child doing a good deed or holding the door for someone, or to having somebody pump gas for somebody else. Anybody can do that. Aggressive Clothing is a company that I started to try to be able to give back to local vets, first responders, and law enforcement. My grandfather and 7 other brothers of his were all in the Navy. They were in Pearl Harbor, and this was my way to be able to give back, whether it be doing charitable donations or networking, helping them get jobs, anything I can do to help.
Welcome back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show as we take a look at the check of the area schedule brought to you by Rock's Local Markets with convenient locations around the Eastern Panhandle. Rock's, fast, fresh, friendly. We'll start you out with the Musselman Applemen. They're on a bye this week, and head coach Brian Thomas thinks this is a very much needed bye as the team is very beat up after a tough season so far.
Whether we have injuries, we don't have injuries, whether we're 6-0 or 0-6, whatever the situation is. I think a lot of times, successful teams do focus on themselves. I think sometimes we get so wrapped up in, what's our opponent doing that we lose track of things that we have to do to get better within ourselves. So, that is one of the things we're kind of focusing on this week, just kind of, attention to detail. Kind of going back to the beginning and saying, hey, we're gonna fix some of the stuff, some of the basic football 101 stuff, and hopefully get better at that.
The Spring Mills Cardinals are also on a bye this week, and head coach Josh Sims says this is not an ideal bye for them after they had to not play a few weeks ago due to COVID issues with Washington.
I think the bye week kind of hurts us right now. It's with losing the Washington game and having that was already like we've already had a bye week. So when we get to Hedgesville next week, we'll be going into what is it here, and we have an opportunity to play 3 games.
The Washington Patriots are coming off of a tough 35-14 loss to Independence out of Virginia, and head coach Glenn Simpson hopes that the team can improve week by week as they just want to be able to get on the field and continue to instill their culture into the players.
Well, that's the culture that we've been building here at Washington High. We go out and play, and we will play anybody. We will play anywhere. We don't look at things in a negative light around here. We look at opportunities. So when we got a team like Independence on our schedule, we see them as an opportunity to measure our program against, just like we will this week facing a Parkview team, that is progressing, that's building, it's getting better. We haven't seen them in 2 years. So, it's going to, we look at all these things. Every adversity is an opportunity to measure the value and worth of our program and our culture.
This week, Washington will play another team out of Northern Virginia. That is Parkview, that comes in at 1-2, and head coach Simpson knows that the team's going to need to come in and do some things better than they did the last couple of weeks.
Well, first of all, we got to tackle better, because they are a spread team, and so when you get good athletes in space, tackling is at a premium. And so that's the one thing. If we tackle and we control the ball, and what I mean by this possession, we control possession of the ball, I think we'll compete very well against this team.
Our last team that we have to hit on is the 4-0 Jefferson Cougars. They travel up to North Hagerstown to take on a 2-1 North Hagerstown team, and head coach Craig Hunter knows there's some things that his team needs to do to be able to beat this North Hagerstown team.
Just a lot of different things from them. They got some team speed. They do a lot of multiple sets offensively. They'll try to do some different things defensively with some stunts, some different defensive sets to try to throw your offensive lineman off, just some different things of that nature. Some of the focal points is make sure we defensively don't blow any coverages this week in the secondary, make sure we pursue the football, make sure when we get there we tackle well, and line up correctly on the defensive line and defensive front. Offensively, went up front, stay true to our blocking assignments, our blocking rules, and then don't make any mistakes offensively. Take care of the football. So, if we can handle those things, and then special teams-wise is no stupid penalties on special teams. Focal point is field position, and field position. We want to establish good field position for our offense. We want to make sure they have horrible field position for our defense. Those are some of the focal points we talked about this week with the kids. So hopefully we can get those ingrained into their brain this week, and Friday hopefully it'll show. That was a check of the area schedule brought to you by Rock's Local Markets with convenient locations around the Eastern Panhandle. Rock's fast, fresh, friendly. Once again, our matchup tonight is Martinsburg at Hedgesville. We will continue to preview this matchup coming up next in the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. You're listening to West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Nothing's better for celebrating after a tough day on the gridiron than a refreshing beer from the frozen tundra of Rock's Beer Cave. Go ahead. Pour it on, big guy.
The beer was for after the game.
Sorry, cold beer. Get your Rock's cold beer.
Ollie's VIP Northside is the best local spot to catch all of your favorite high school, college, and pro sports, or to hang out with friends. Ollie's has a great beer and cocktail menu, along with a food menu that will blow you away. Ollie's offers multiple TVs to watch the game of your choice from anywhere at the bar, or their outdoor patio with cornhole and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP Northside. We'll see you for the game.
Hi, I'm Annette McDonald, and I am the designer at Orsini's in Martinsburg, West Virginia. We welcome you into our store to show you a complete line of what we do here. We design your cabinetry, quartz countertops, granite countertops, hardware, anything for the full remodel of your kitchen and your home needs. We also do bathrooms, and we have flooring available too. We make sure that your project with Orsini's is the best in the market. Welcome to Orsini's.
Orsini's.com. Spring Valley Farm and Orchard in beautiful Hampshire County is owned by the Cooks, Eli and Misty, and their 3 children who farm on 820 acres and grow fresh peaches, apples, corn, tomatoes, melons, squash, zucchini, beans, and more. Spring Valley Farm Market has a new location at 1793 Dry Run Road in Martinsburg and a Winchester location too. Open Monday through Saturday 9 until 5 and Sunday 9 to 4. For the freshest, highest quality fruit and produce, shop Spring Valley Farm Market. Buy fresh, buy local.
2019, 0-7 a season ago, and then dropped their opener in this one, and they lost their final game of that 2018 season, and that was a second-round playoff loss on the road at Capitol. That wrapped up a 7-5 campaign. It's a program that went 7-4 in 2017 and made the playoffs at 5-5 in 2016, only to run into the top-ranked Bulldogs in the opening round of the playoffs, and they finished at 5-6, but it's a program that's looking to get back into that stint of making the playoffs on a more regular basis.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting how they just went from being so relevant to that just drop off of no wins at all. It's just, I guess it's the program just losing players and not having enough young guys that have had varsity experience.
You got to go back into the 90s when this program was really at its peak under then head coach Ron Renner. Over an 8-year span, 61 wins, just 26 losses, and in the postseason, 6 of those 8 years. In 1995, Hedgesville played for a state championship, falling against Capitol by a final of 20-0, wrapping up a great season at 10 wins and 4 losses. And 2 years later, in 1997, they finished at 10-3, falling in the semifinals on the road at Parkersburg. 42-13 was the final in that one. And Spencer, you got to go back to that 1997 season for the last time that Hedgesville has beaten these Martinsburg Bulldogs. It was right here at Moomaw Stadium. 42-14 was the final. Since that time, Martinsburg comes in riding a 24-game winning streak against the Eagles.
What you're telling me is that Hedgesville has yet to win a game since I've been born against Martinsburg.
There you go. It has been a while, that's for sure, and you know they would like to change that fortune here tonight. Again, it is going to be tough. They come in averaging about 15.5 points a game. They've put 62 on the board through their first 4 games, and they're doing it with a little bit of a twist, if you will, on the single wing as they made the adjustment from last season to this season offensively.
Yeah, and I think that's something you're going to see the progression go all season. I think obviously it didn't work out that well in that first game against Washington, unable to score any points, unable to get really anything going offensively from that one. They had a little bit of momentum going, and then they had that one coming out of the lightning delay, and then a little bit of momentum out of that lighting delay at the end of that game. So they definitely had some momentum in that game, had some stuff working offensively, but it was the mistakes in the red zone that killed them, not able to score a point.
If there's one thing that Coach Faircloth has talked about from last year even into this year that he likes about this team, it's the line of scrimmage. It's his big guys, whether on that offensive side or that defensive side, and those guys are certainly going to be key in this one if they're going to get that single-wing offense going. And likewise, if they're going to find a way to slow down a very hot Martinsburg team. Hedgesville defensively has allowed 94 points over 4 games. That's 23.5 a contest, albeit 62 points against Morgantown last week is going to inflate that.
Yeah, definitely going to inflate that. And, you know, that Morgantown team came into that game 0-2, but they're definitely not a team that is bad. They're definitely a good team. So Martinsburg did run into Hedgesville, ran into a very good team, and Hedgesville just sees its improvement every week. When I was talking with Drew Milton, which you're here later on in the pregame program, he just said, you know, the improvement we're seeing from ourselves every week is just something that we can put towards going forward through the season to have that effort continuing to get better.
Yeah, Drew Milton, a junior lineman for this Hedgesville team. And when you look at this team, a lot of juniors, sophomores, even some freshmen that will be on the field tonight. And while they do have a nice complement of seniors, again, those seniors don't necessarily have a lot of playing experience with only the 7 games last season, with the year being cut short due to COVID, and now coming into this season. So still some inexperience out there for this Hedgesville team. We will see how they handle it against a more experienced Martinsburg team here tonight. Well, let's take a break, and on the other side, we'll hear from Matt Faircloth. He is the head coach of the Hedgesville Eagles, now in his second season, the former defensive coordinator under head coach Joey Urish, who spent 4 years here. Faircloth went on to South Hagerstown for a year and has returned and leading this Hedgesville program. We'll hear from him after this timeout on our W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. This is West Virginia High School Football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
The right attorney can make all the difference in the outcome of your case.
I called Sutton and Janelle, the best lawyers you could ask for.
Sutton and Janelle Attorneys at Law. 70 years of collective legal experience, family law, criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, and mediation.
Sutton and Janelle got the most favorable outcome I could have expected.
Visit Sutton and Janelle's new historic location, 224 West King Street in Martinsburg. Online at suttonandjanelle.com. Sutton and Janelle Attorneys at Law. They value your rights and are passionate about your success.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs. Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Welcome back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. This segment brought to you by Parsons Ford of Martinsburg. They became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons, we're now joined by head coach of the Hedgesville Eagles, Matt Faircloth. And coach, you guys had a tough one down in Morgantown against a tough team that came in. They were coming in that game 0-2, but they're a pretty good team in the state overall.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, they were big, lean, fast, and physical. It definitely wasn't your typical 0-2 team, but we learned a lot about ourselves in that game, and at halftime we challenged them, and we came back out. We outscored them 21-7 in the second half. So, fixed some things and got better.
So as the weeks go by, it seems like you guys are putting together more pieces to the puzzle, and not necessarily always getting the victories, but it's the victories within the game that you guys can piece together overall for the season.
Right. Yesterday in film we talked about it. First play of the game last week we run power, and the offensive line blocks it perfectly, but we fumble the ball in the mesh. So it's always like we get perfect blocks, or we mess it up in the backfield, or we mess it up as a block and we execute it in the backfield. So for us, it's just putting it all together.
And then you guys obviously are going to face a very tough Martinsburg team this week. What are some things that you guys are working on as a team to just be able to compete better than you have in the past with them?
The biggest thing for us is staying in alignment assignment football. They're not a team that you can get outside your alignment and assignment because they got speed all over the field. And, for us, it's, rally and tackle, keep them inside to, use the sideline as an extra defender and pursue to the football.
What things are you looking from your team this week offensively?
To compete. We know that they're a good football team. They just went down and had a big win at Highland Springs, which is, is good for West Virginia high school football. So for us, go out, put it all together. Let's block together. Let's get the handoffs. Let's execute. And as long as we get everything together and get better, second part of our season looks good for us.
Do you think going to face a team like Morgantown last week helps you kind of face the EPAC teams that you're going to see this year?
Oh, I'm going to tell you right now, you do not want to see Morgantown later on in the year. They're, it was a physical football game for us. And, up front we did well at times, but they just keep rolling them out. So going up there in that environment, it was an electric environment, a lot of people, loud, great stadium. But I think that game there is going to prepare us for this run here in the second half.
So week 5 so far this season, what are some things that have impressed you from your team so far this season, about halfway through the year?
Staying locked in. They're watching film more than they ever have. They're staying together. There's no pointing fingers. It's the little things that we wanted to preach coming into this season, and it's starting to take full picture here towards the middle of the year. Is we're going to execute in the second half.
All right, Coach, good luck this week. Now we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk more of West Virginia high school football right here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
The Mid-Atlantic Group has been serving the area's insurance needs for 40 years. We are an independent insurance agency, therefore we can offer insurance from many insurance companies. Find the right coverage at the right price with Easy Payment Plan. Located at 201 West Martin Street in Martinsburg, the Mid-Atlantic Group is easily accessible from Morgan, Jefferson, and Berkeley County. To set up an appointment with a local insurance professional, give them a call today at 304-267-8989. That's the Mid-Atlantic Group at 201 West Martin Street in Martinsburg. Let them help insure you today.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg has a brand new list of daily specials. Monday, stop on in for burger night or enjoy a nice juicy steak every Tuesday and Wednesday. The Palace Lounge also offers freshly steamed shrimp Thursdays and chef specials every Friday and Saturday. Sunday is all-day breakfast and there are drink specials daily too. So come enjoy the Palace Lounge. You can find them on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard.
Conveniently located at 440 Williamsport Pike in Martinsburg, Sunset Car Wash's staff specializes in keeping your car clean. From our famous 3-minute cloth wash to our touchless automatic and 6 self-serve bays, we offer whatever preference you have for your car wash needs. If your vehicle could talk, it would say, "Take me to Sunset Car Wash." That's Sunset Car Wash at 440 Williamsport Pike in Martinsburg, locally owned and operated.
Whether you're heading to a high school, college, or professional football game, Johnny's has all your tailgating go-tos. Delicious wings, meatballs, shrimp, burgers, and dogs. Plus, Johnny's has everything you need to serve it all up. Party trays, utensils, plates, cups, and more. Stop by either of our 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg and Route 11 South in Chambersburg.
To Hedgesville High School and Moomaw Stadium, where tonight it's the Eagles entertaining the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Along with Spencer Dupuy, I'm Matt Miller, John Alderton, and Donald Kinney running cameras tonight. So too our sideline reporter Colin McLaughlin. Will be checking in with him just before today's opening kick. Donna Schaffner is our on-site producer, and Nick Verzolini is our studio engineer. All right, we've taken a look at the Hedgesville Eagles, heard from their head coach. Let's begin to break it down for the Martinsburg Bulldogs. And wow, Spencer, when you look at the numbers, they jump out at you. 175 points scored to just 67 allowed for an average score rounded up, and it's 44-17. And when you look at what Martinsburg has done offensively, 446 total yards in the opening win against Salem, 553 against Musselman, 601 against Sharando, and 483 total yards against a pretty good and athletic defense at Highland Springs last week.
Yeah, and I know one of the things that about that Highland Springs team is they don't have very many people that play on both sides of the ball. But Martinsburg has a ton of players that play on both sides of the ball. So, I mean, that's very good considering you're going to have fresh guys on both sides of the ball for them. And for Martinsburg, you're going to have guys that are playing both ways, so they're going to get tired. But they put up a lot of yards.
Well, and that's one of the things that Hedgesville obviously has to find a way to slow down is this Martinsburg offense, and perhaps the best way to do it is to get their ground game going. The problem is it's a Bulldog defense that has given up only about 395 rushing yards or 98.75 per game, and only allowing about 196 total yards per game against some pretty athletic teams that they have faced. So when you look at this Bulldog team, yeah, the offense is putting up some points, they're putting up some yards, they're making things happen, but on the other side of the football, that defense is not allowing opponents to get much done.
No, definitely not allowing opponents to do much very at all, and that's what this Martinsburg team does. That's what they do. That's what they're known for. They're known for being able to score a lot of points and not having a lot of points scored against them.
Well, and let's add the third facet in there, special forces, as they like to call it, or special teams. It played a huge part in that win last week.
Yeah, definitely played a huge part. We talked about that early in this pregame show about the kicking game, but when it comes to kicking field goals, but also they were able to get a couple of their little pop-up bloop onside kicks that were able to let them score and get another possession.
Yeah, they recovered that onside kick to open the second half and eventually had that opportunity to get the field goal that put them in the lead. And so special teams will be a big key in this one here today. We can let you know Braxton Todd will not be playing. We have seen him with the jersey top on, but still otherwise in street clothes. We believe Kai Walker not going to play for yet another week, as well as he is nursing an injury, and we'll check and see others that may not be available. Martinsburg will be a little bit limited, if you will, with some of the things maybe that they would do offensively or defensively, but it's a deep football team. It's next man up.
Definitely a deep football team, and, you know, somebody that's progressed every single week that they've played, Xavier Kendall. He didn't look that great in that game against Salem to start the season. He didn't seem like he knew which holes to find, but then last couple of games when he's come in relief for Todd, you know, when they want to get Todd some rest, he's played extremely well.
We'll see him in that starting role here tonight. There you go, a little look at the Martinsburg Bulldogs. We'll hear from their head coach, Britt Sherman, coming up in his second year leading the program after serving as a longtime assistant under former head coach David Walker. We'll hear from a couple of players and our In the Huddle segment after Coach Sherman, so stay tuned. Those are coming up next on our W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. They provide custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio-video distribution, and more. Call them at 304-350-1931 or visit WHMsystems.com. It's West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
Over? It's not over until we say it's over. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? No!
After an eternity in the cold trenches filled with the sinew of flesh,
When the going gets tough, the tough get going.
men have to dig down deep and grab a hold of anything they can for motivation. Rock's Coffee, a great pick-me-upper.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
We're back again on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show, coming your way from In the End Zone as we talk with Martinsburg head coach Britt Sherman. Our conversation a service of Parsons Ford. They're on Shepherdstown Road, just east of Martinsburg. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons. Coach, congratulations on the 4-0 start to the season and a huge win on the road at Highland Springs last week. What is it you saw from your team in a gritty 1-point victory?
Just toughness, just grit. I don't think a lot of people understand how many guys we have playing both ways for us, and they only had about 2 or 3 kids, and they're more athletic kids that they're kind of their skill guys. So, a lot of our guys up front and that play the second level we're going both ways, and they gutted it out, gritted it out, and just played really tough, and that's what I was the most proud about.
No score in that first quarter, but once they got a touchdown on the board in that second quarter, things kind of opened up. How did it change at that point?
Well, I think it was like feeling each other out there at first, almost like a heavyweight fight or something like that. The first rounds aren't real eventful. And then I think we kind of felt each other out a little bit and saw what we could do to each other. And then, they had a big play on us, and then we drove the ball a little bit and hit a couple big plays on them. And so I think it was, just kind of a slugfest.
And your guys, every time you went down, responded, as you said, gave up a play, went down by score, but you came back with big plays. What's that show you about this group?
Just a lot of guts, a lot of grit, a lot of character, integrity, and that those guys, when they get down, they don't stay down. They're not front runners. They're just tough kids.
Add to it your special forces. I mean, this was a victory in every facet. Your defense playing well, your offense making plays, but without some big plays in your kicking game, you don't get the win in that one.
Yeah, I mean, we knew we weren't going to be able to kick the ball real deep to them just because of the athletes they'd had and, the lack of success we'd had of stopping that earlier in the first 3 games. But, Brent Terwilliger came up really big with 3 really big kicks. We talk about the 2 field goals, but the 35-yard extra point was the difference in the game, really. So, just executed really well, did a good job.
All right, this week you move back into EPAC play. How do you keep this team focused coming off of such a big win, now getting back to your regular routine, so to speak?
Well, I mean, we worry about us. We still did things that we need to improve on, whether, we beat a really good team or not. There were some things that, a couple things with tackling, effort, had guys on offense running through holes and not finding anybody to block. So, we've worked on that a lot this week and, just trying to get better.
How about this Hedgesville team and what you see in them coming into the matchup?
Well, they're not young anymore. They've talked about being young. They got 9 seniors on defense. That's something that really stood out to me for them. So, it's a group that's been working for years and now trying to find a way to win some games, and they've won some games, and they've had some success, and, they're building the program and working off that.
Another game on the road. I know it's a lot closer to home, but are you kind of getting tired of being on the road?
We kind of show up on the road and everything's ready to go, and we just come on the field, warm up, and play. So, it's closer, but we like going out and traveling, and I like traveling. So I think these guys are kind of getting to the point where they like it as well. So, I don't want to be on the road all the time. Hopefully next season we have a lot more games here, but it's interesting as well.
Final question. You're reaching that midpoint of the season. This week is game number 5. To be 4-0, what's that mean when you look at the tough matchups you've had, the Salems, the Highland Springs, Musselman early on in the season?
Well, I had some people tell me we were going to be 0-4, and then I had some other people tell me, well, if you're 2-2, I think it'll be really good. So to be 4-0 and win some big games and some gritty games, it's really nice and exciting for these guys that have worked really hard in the offseason.
Coach, good luck in this one.
Thank you, Matt.
There you go. That's Britt Sherman, the head coach of the Martinsburg Bulldogs. He joins us from In the End Zone. This segment brought to you by Parsons Ford. They're on Shepherdstown Road, just east of Martinsburg. They became number one by making you number one first, Parsons. We've got more of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show coming up. It's West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
Ollie's VIP Northside is the best local spot to catch all of your favorite high school, college, and pro sports, or to hang out with friends. Ollie's has a great beer and cocktail menu, along with a food menu that will blow you away. Ollie's offers multiple TVs to watch the game of your choice from anywhere at the bar, or their outdoor patio with cornhole and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP Northside. We'll see you for the game.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
We welcome you back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Time to go in the huddle, brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Phone them at 304-263-4343 or stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. We get it started here at Coburn Field as we talk with Martinsburg Bulldog Hudson Clement, a wide receiver and a defensive back. Big game for you and a big win for your team last week. Tell us about that victory and what it means.
It means a lot. It was a huge game, real good team effort. We had to fight hard for this one. We didn't have one of our great players, Kai. He was out for that one, so we had to really pick it up, and I thought we did a great job.
Let's start on the offensive side of the football. Another 100-plus yard receiving game led by that 79-yard touchdown catch. Take us to that play in particular and what you saw.
It was a great play. Murph found me coming back across. It was actually, I was on the left side, and I came back across because the pocket started to close. Murph got out of there, and he hit me, and then I got loose.
So are you saying that that's kind of a busted play, if you will, or was that the route you were supposed to run?
It was a little bit of a busted play, but everyone handled it well, so that's what happens.
All right, let's go to the defensive side of the football. They had some athletes, and they wanted to put it in the air. What was it like for you in that defensive backfield?
We had to be strong in the secondary. It was really hard to guard those guys, great athletes, but I thought we handled the run game very well. Pass game, they got us a few times, but I think overall we did as good as we could have done.
What was the emotion at the end of that game as it came down to a Hail Mary and you guys are able to knock it away and preserve the win?
It was a crazy feeling coming from last year, not having all this. It was just crazy. Felt very good to be back in business doing this and stuff, so it was just a surreal feeling.
You used the word Murph earlier, hit you with the pass. That's your brother. Talk to us about playing with him and what that's like.
Oh, that's the best. The getting passes from him, anything, blocking for him, it's the best. That's my brother. I've been playing with him for a while now, backyard, everything. It's just, it's great to be playing with him.
All right, this week you go back to an EPAC matchup against Hedgesville. How do you come off of such a big win and make sure that you're ready to go this week?
Just no let up, just keep working, just like we did last week, like we're preparing for Highland Springs again. Just keep working, keep doing everything we've been doing, and just keep winning.
Hudson, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
There you go. That's Hudson Clement. He's a Martinsburg Bulldog wide receiver and defensive back. Our segment in the huddle continues now as we go to Spencer Dupuis out at Hedgesville.
All right, thanks, Matt. We're down here at Hedgesville High School with Eagles offensive lineman and defensive lineman Drew Milton. And Drew, you guys have definitely improved week by week this year. What is something that you've seen a difference from last year to this year?
Well, our drives, I feel like our drives down the field have gotten a lot more accomplishable. Like we've scored a lot more points than we did last year.
It seems like from when we talked to Coach Faircloth from the beginning of the year that you guys as an offensive line and the defensive line have made vast improvements from last year.
We have. We've gained in numbers a lot. We've been in the weight room. That's one thing we couldn't do last year is get in the weight room. Gained numbers on as of our 2s and 3s, and we've also gotten in the weight room to get bigger and stronger.
What do you think the difference having the ability to get in the weight room this year has made for you guys overall as a team, knowing that you're just continuing to build the program?
Well, one's building the program. Two, I think, is our bondage, and we don't fight as much. We're a lot more together, and the weight room, making us bigger in size, can help us, win a lot of the battles up front.
You guys faced a very good Morgantown team last week,
Sure.
and you're going to face an even better Martinsburg team this week. What are some things you have to do in both sides of the trenches this week?
I think stay physical. Don't give up. Stay physical with them, and win the battles up front first. Starts in the trenches.
So what are you looking forward to from your offense overall?
I'm hoping we find the holes that we create in the line and then run up the field, get first downs all night, and hopefully get some touchdowns.
Coach Faircloth said that last game that you guys played, it seemed like there were different things that were hitting at different times. It just wasn't all at the same time. Do you think by the end of the year that everything's just going to hit full swing?
I feel like it is. After a while, we get more in the groove, and everything will come together greatly. Hopefully make a run this year.
All right, well, thanks for joining. That was In the Huddle, brought to you by Marius Group and the Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Call Ameriprise Financial Service at 304-263-4343 or stop by their offices at 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. We'll have more of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Coming up next, it's West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
The right attorney can make all the difference in the outcome of your case.
I called Sutton and Janelle, the best lawyers you could ask for.
Sutton and Janelle Attorneys at Law. 70 years of collective legal experience. Family law, criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, and mediation.
Sutton and Janelle got the most favorable outcome I could have expected.
Visit Sutton and Janelle's new historic location, 224 West King Street in Martinsburg. Online at suttonandjanelle.com. Sutton and Janelle Attorneys at Law. They value your rights and are passionate about your success.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk. See dealer for details.
This is Matt Miller, along with my wife, Dale.
As homeowners, we've been through the mortgage process several times, and each time we went to Mark and Cheryl Savitt at the Mortgage Center.
They treat you like family with personal one-on-one service, walking with you through the process from application to settlement.
Plus, low interest rates and closing costs.
The Mortgage Center is on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Phone 304-267-9040.
Or online at mortgagefinancing.com. NMLS number 237527, equal housing lender.
High school as we put the finishing touches on our W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Time for our keys to the game, and for that, we turn to Spencer. Let's start with the visiting Martinsburg Bulldogs. What do you see as keys for them in this one?
I think they don't need to make silly mistakes because this is an EPAC team they're playing, so it's going to be even more. The fans are going to be even rowdier, smaller, kind of a smaller venue, kind of more enclosed. And I think that if you make a lot of silly mistakes, it can hurt you tonight.
Well, they have struggled throughout this season with some penalties, no doubt about that. Penalized 48 times for 363 yards compared to their opponents. 24 penalties for 161 yards.
And I have one more. Offensively, they need to control the tempo of the game. If they can control the tempo of the game, they can control the game.
Well, and controlling that may very well be, can they come up with the big plays like they did last week? This is one of those games where Hedgesville, I think, could end up with maybe more time of possession. If they can get a little ground game going, the question is, can they stop those Martinsburg big plays? Let's turn to them. What do you see as those keys for Hedgesville?
I'm going to use head coach Matt Faircloth's words. They need to, quote, play alignment assignment football. If they can play alignment assignment football, then they can play good tonight. Whether or not they can beat Martinsburg, I don't necessarily know that for them this game is about beating Martinsburg. Yeah, they want to beat Martinsburg, but you can always take positives when you're going to play the best team in the state.
Any other keys for Hedgesville that you're looking at?
If they can try to get Martinsburg off of its game, they can potentially do like what Musselman did in the beginning of that game a couple weekends ago.
Our keys to the game brought to you by the Mortgage Center on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg. The key to buying the right home is securing the needed financing with low interest rates and closing costs. You'll find that at the Mortgage Center. Give them a call at 304-267-9040 or find them online at mortgagefinancing.com. That's mortgagefinancing.com. Well, we will take our final timeout before coming back with a look at today's starting lineups. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance. And that concludes today's pregame show.
We play every play like it's the most important play of the game. Who let the dogs out?
Coming up next, it's the starting lineups, opening kick, and play-by-play action of West Virginia high school football featuring the AAA Martinsburg Bulldogs. Today's game is being brought to you by
Bechtel Jewelers, The Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, Friends of Jason Barrett, Hagerstown Ford, The Medj & Ferretti Law Firm, Kelly Allstate Agency, Milestone Realty, Miller Honda, The Mid-Atlantic Group, The Mirius Group, Orsini's Home Store, The Palace Lounge, Parsons Ford, Rocks, Spring Valley Farm Market, Sunset Car Wash, The Sutton and Janelle Law Firm, Smallwood and Small Insurance, and WVU Medicine, Berkeley Medical Center, and Jefferson Medical Center provider.
And now, let's go back to the field and rejoin our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
The ROTC presenting the colors, the Hedgesville Marching Band, ready with our national anthem as we welcome you back to Moomaw Stadium. Let's listen in. There you go, the Hedgesville High School Marching Band with our national anthem. The ROTC presenting the colors. They will turn and head off the field to our left. As they do, we remind you, our starting lineups are a service of D&N Auto Specialist, where honesty is their best policy. They're family-owned and operated since 1974. Get your vehicle fixed right the first time at D&N Auto, 230 Tavern Road in Martinsburg. Phone 304-350-1931. Let's begin with the visitors from Martinsburg. We expect Ezra Bajent to be the starting quarterback. We'll see a lot of Murphy Clement back there as well. Braxton Todd out for this one, so Xavion Kendall will start at tailback. Wide receivers Hudson Clement, Roman Pearson, Cash Gideon, and Jacob Barrett. And along the front line, Aiden Fleming and E.J. Hendricks are tackles. Justin Petrie, Christian Slack are guards, and Jake Zittel is the starting center. Defensively, Cash Gideon, Cam Shallis, Lolo Taylor Parati, and Jacob Barrick are linebackers. Along the defensive front line, it's Aiden Fleming, Christian Slack, and Eric King. And in the defensive secondary, Sarad Musgrove, Murphy Clement, Hudson Clement, and with Kai Walker still out, Roman Pearson will round out that defensive backfield. Let's turn to the Hedgesville Eagles. On the offensive side, it's Jackson Ruest at quarterback. Joining him in the backfield, Nathan Albright. A pair of wingbacks, or H-backs if you will, Gage Creel on one side, Gabe Tust on the other. Today's starting wideout is Tanner Matthew. The tight end is Eli Faircloth, and along the front line, Drew Milton and Richie Harper are tackles. It is Braden Grove and Levi Faircloth as guards, and Nate Lamb is the starting center. For Hedgesville defensively along the front line, Miguel Greer is a defensive end along with Bryce Sotil. Richie Harper and Gabe Tust are tackles. Corners are Nick Wood and Kanye Smith. Free safety is Nathan Albright, and the linebackers are Gage Creel, Jake Young, Kyle Whaley, and Justin Lutterot. And that is a look at the starting lineups. They're brought to you by D&N Auto Specialist, where honesty is their best policy. Get your vehicle fixed right the first time by calling 304-350-1931. D&N Auto at 230 Tavern Road in Martinsburg. All right, we got a 30-second break to take. On the other side, we'll come back with the coin flip, and we'll get this one underway. It is Martinsburg here at Hedgesville in West Virginia. High school football on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is Prevent, Promote, Protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
All right, we welcome you back in to Moomaw Stadium. Let's check in with Colin McLaughlin. He is down on the sideline. We've had the introduction of players. Let's find out who today's game officials are. Colin.
Thank you, Matt Miller and Spencer Dupuis. I'm down here on the Hedgesville side, and right before they come out on the field, your officials' head referee is Kevin Hardy. Your umpire is John Jones. Your linesman is Chris Triggs. The line judge is Jim Pearson, and the back judge is Jacob Shook. Back up to you guys.
Hey, hold on. I'm not letting you get away that fast. We got a little Enter Sandman going on. Give us an idea, first of all, of the atmosphere for this one, and give us an idea of the field conditions, if you will, as well, after a lot of rain the last couple days, and this is natural grass.
Yeah, field conditions right now, definitely not as wet as you'd think. However, that grass is definitely high. It does not look like it has been mowed, and as Hedgesville comes through, you can hear the crowd right now as well. It's going to be loud tonight. Both teams have student sections. It should be a fun one for the fans. Back up to you guys.
All right, Colin, thank you so much. Colin McLaughlin down on the sideline. By the way, our introduction of game officials brought to you by Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, a family-owned full-service funeral home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson, proudly serving the area since 1880. The captains meeting at midfield. Martinsburg will receive the football to get this one underway. So the Bulldogs will get that offense out there and see if they can set the tone by maybe putting the first points on the board.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds me of that Musselman game. And they're at center at the 50-yard line as they're getting ready to officials just discussing everything prior to the game, and on both sides, head coaches talking to all their players, trying to get things ready to go for tonight.
Now, we may have had a jersey change for Martinsburg. There was a 2-7 on the field. It was actually in our lineup of team captains, so we may have to find out who's wearing the 2-7 for the Martinsburg Bulldogs, as we do not have a 27 listed on the current roster. So we'll have to check on that from the sidelines. Our opening kick being brought to you by the Berkeley County Health Department. Prevent, promote, protect. They're at 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Give them a call at 304-263-5131. So the Dogs head out onto the field in the black pants, the white jersey tops, black lettering and orange trim, the black football helmet with the white state of West Virginia, the orange M in the middle of the state. Hedgesville on the field in the blue pants and blue jersey tops, a little gold trim on the sleeves, gold numerals, and on the blue helmet a gold H for Hedgesville. Jackson Ruess, not only the quarterback, he's the kicker. Tees it up at the 40-yard line to our left, and we are just about ready to go. He'll approach. And the kick, a squib along the near side, is going to be taken by Xavier Kendall. The Bulldog running back immediately hits the ground as he pulls it in along the near sideline, and Martinsburg will have it at their own 37.
Great job by Kendall there, just to see the ball in and just lay down. Don't want to have any way to accidentally have the ball hit out of your hands and lose the ball and give them free possession.
So Martinsburg will move from right to left. Leading the way will be Ezra Bajent, the starting quarterback, 51 of 78. That's 66% completion percentage, 707 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks. Kendall is to his right side, about a yard behind him in that shotgun formation. And the Dogs will run the end around with a handoff to Hudson Clement, turning the corner on the right side. He's to the far side midfield stripe into Hedgesville territory, down to the 40-yard line, grabbed and taken down pretty much right on that 40-yard line. Big play for Martinsburg to start the game.
Great job there by, just great play calling there to open the game, trying to get him off, doing a little reverse action there. Early reverse action, gets a big gain now into Hedgesville territory.
They do set it down pretty much right on that 40-yard line of Hedgesville. A gain of 23 on the very first play, and when you look at it, Hudson Clement had 2 carries for 17 yards coming in. He picks up 23 here. There is the snap back. Bajent going to hand it off. Xavier Kendall coming here to the left side. Tripped up from behind, taken down at the 35-yard line. Nice defense as Gage Creel, the senior, got into the backfield and helped to trip him up. The gain will be good for about 4 yards as they set it at the 36.
And great job there by Kendall. As I mentioned in pregame, just being able to do a lot more than he was in week 1, getting more confidence in his running back ability behind Braxton Todd, now leading the way tonight.
So far on the season, Xavier Kendall, third leading rusher, 70 yards on 19 carries, an average of 3.68 a touch. He's got a touchdown on the year. Again, he is the back in the backfield as they run the play action pass, and on the slant, the slot receiver to the right, Jacob Barrick makes that grab, sprints down the middle of the field, and a touchdown saving tackle from Kanye Smith, able to get Barrick and trip him up at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, great job defensively to not let the ball handle, excuse me, I can't talk right now. The receiver get in the end zone for an easy touchdown. They're going to make them work for it.
31 yards on that gain, and it's first down and goal to go. Bajent awaiting that shotgun snap. He's got it. Wants to throw near side receiver screen. Caught by Cash Giddingen. There's Smith to hit him. Got some help from his friends. Hedgesville snuffed that one out, and it will be a completion, but minus 3 yards.
Again, great job defensively there by Hedgesville. They stopped him from going anywhere, knew the screen was coming, and had a whole gang of Eagles over there.
So second down, goal to go. From now the 8-yard line, ball moved to the near side hash mark. Wide side of the field right, and there's 3 receivers heading out that way. Getting is the lone receiver here to the left. Wide split in that backfield for the tailback, Kendall. He's to the right of the quarterback. There's the receiver screen to the far side. Grab is made. That's Pearson, and he will get to the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown. Turned upfield, saw the lane to his right. Great blocking by the other receivers out there. It's an 8-yard touchdown pass. The Dogs are on the board.
That was kind of the screen they were looking for. Didn't get that exact look on the play prior, but they got it now, and then they got in the end zone for an early score. Just 9:40 left now.
For Roman Pearson, 4th touchdown catch of the season, 6th touchdown pass for Bajent. And on to attempt the extra point is Brent Terwilliger. Snap is back, kick is up, and it is through. We take a break with 9:40 to play in quarter number 1, and Martinsburg in front, 7-0.
7-0.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
This is Matt Miller, along with my wife, Dale.
As homeowners, we've been through the mortgage process several times, and each time we went to Mark and Cheryl Savitt at the Mortgage Center.
They treat you like family with personal one-on-one service, walking with you through the process from application to settlement.
Plus, low interest rates and closing costs.
The Mortgage Center is on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Phone 304-267-9040.
Or online at mortgagefinancing.com. NMLS number 237527, equal housing lender.
Stadium as we get ready for the kickoff. Brent Terwilliger tees it up at the 40, almost directly in front of us. He's kicking from right to left, and he squibs this one along the ground and taken by one of the up men. Great job to be able to grab that football and smother it as he went down to his knees, and that is Andy Darby. He's a sophomore who pulled that one in. Hey, the drive for Martinsburg to score 5 plays. It covered 63 yards, took them 2 minutes and 18 seconds, 8 yards on the touchdown pass. That went from Bajent to Pearson, and Martinsburg leads 7-0. Summary brought to you by 61st District Delegate Jason Barrett, trusted leadership and real solutions. So 9:39 to play, quarter number 1. First offensive possession for Hedgesville. 1st and 10 from their own 48-yard line. And the handoff going to the tailback, looking for some running room off the right side of the line, and there is not much there. On that carry is Nathan Albright. He is a senior. He does get to that Bulldog 49, so give him a pickup of about 3.
2nd down and 7.
That's exactly what Hedgesville would like to do. If they could get 3 yards a pop, be able to run that football, control the clock, it could go a long way towards them having some success in this one. Taking their time as they break the huddle. Play clock is down to about 11, down to 10. Ruest in the gun. Has the back to his left side. H-back out there to the right. He'll be a lead blocker, and busting through a hole at the line is Albright. He is met in the secondary by Hudson Clement, and the Bulldog defensive back brings him down at the 45. Still a pickup of 4 yards.
Got to be an early candidate for the Cody's Auto Body collision of the game right there. Just stood him up.
Yeah, that was a good hit. Got him down low, wrapped him up, drove him backwards, and took him down. So a pair of runs for Albright. He's picked up 7 yards, and it's a key 3rd down and 3 for Hedgesville. You'd really like to get this first down if you're head coach Matt Faircloth and his staff and keep this drive going. Out there is one of the H-backs is Miguel Greer, the senior wearing number 42. He's a big guy out there blocking, and Martinsburg showing blitz, and the Bulldogs jumped into the neutral zone. That is +5 on encroachment. First penalty for Martinsburg, and it does give Hedgesville a first down. It was only a 3rd down and 3. A penalty for 5 yards moves it down to the Bulldog 40-yard line, and now Hedgesville will continue to let that clock run.
I mean, that was one of my keys to the game for Hedgesville was try to get Martinsburg off its game. They just did that. It's the little things on the line that can cause disruption.
Under 8 minutes to play here in quarter number 1. 7-0 Martinsburg from the Bulldog 40 on a 1st and 10. Snap goes back. Ruest hands it off. Albright following those blocks off the right side of the line. Picks up 5 more down to the 35. Nice job by this offensive line. And those extra backs in the backfield, those fullback, H-back, if you will, being able to help lead the way.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that is going to bring success for this offense for Hedgesville, is adopting the new offense that they did in kind of that wing T.
From the 35 of Martinsburg, this is a Bulldog defense that has been very stiff this season, giving up just 196 yards a game and only about 98 a game on the ground. Good start for Hedgesville. 2nd down and 5. 2 H-backs, if you will, going to lead the way off that left side of the line as the handoff goes to the tailback, Gabe Tost, and the senior running left will pick up maybe a yard at best. Will they give him that 34 or not? Our official on one side is leaning forward more than the other, and yep, we'll call it a gain of 1 on the first carry for Tost, and that will bring up a 3rd down and 4.
Really going to test right here the Hedgesville offense, because I don't think that Martinsburg's going to jump off sides again. This is going to be their real first 3rd down experience.
But I tell you what, where they are on the field, this may very well be 3rd and 4th down, because you're too far for a field goal. The punt doesn't net you much, so even if you can get to within 4th and a yard or something, I think you go for it. 3rd down and 4 here. Handoff going to Albright. Wow, met in the hole very quickly. Barrick able to get an arm out there and then got help underneath from Aiden Fleming. Fleming is the Bulldog leading tackler, 28 tackles, and Barrick second with 24. Those two guys teaming up for that stop after 2 yards, and it does bring up a 4th down and 2.
4th down and 3, I think, that they spotted the ball.
They moved back a little, so it's about the 33-yard line, just inside of that 33, so call that more of a 1-yard gain.
I thought it was a 2-yard gain as well there, Matt, but they looked like, when I looked out on the field to see where they spotted the ball, it was back further than I expected.
So with that gain of 1, we'll call it a 4th down and 3, and as we expected, they'll go for it from the Bulldog 33. Ruest taking that snap, handing it off, and Albright met and brought down a yard short of what he needed for the first. He's going to get stopped at the 31-yard line, and Martinsburg will take over on downs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this Hedgesville team compared to week 1. Seeing them week 1 and not seeing them be able to even really get a first down in the first few minutes of the game. They've got, they had one by penalty, but they've gotten a couple first downs now.
So from their own 31 with a 7-0 lead, Martinsburg will take over after the turnover on downs. 5:26 to play here in our opening quarter. And we'll get Murphy Clement out there to be the quarterback in this possession. Xavion Kendall joining him in the backfield. He'll be a lead blocker as Clement turns the corner on that right side, weaves his way through a little bit of traffic, dragged down from behind just shy of the 35. Murphy Clement, second leading rusher for this Bulldog team, 409 yards on 49 carries. He's got 8 rushing touchdowns. He picks up 3 out to the 34.
Coach Faircloth is down there on the sideline talking with Drew Milton, the guy that we spotlighted and in the huddle, and definitely think he's talking to him about alignment assignment football there, because he's an offensive lineman.
Pistol formation as Clement takes that shotgun snap, hands it off. Xavion Kendall moving straight ahead, able to break through the initial line of scrimmage when it looked like he would be stopped. He got turned around but backed his way for a couple of extra yards. Looks like they'll set it down at the 37. That's a 3-yard pickup, and the Dogs now face a 3rd and 4.
This fourth quarter is just rolling by, Matt.
Just be the first quarter. I think you just said fourth.
I meant first. There's 4:25 left, so the 4 came in my head.
We do have an official's timeout after that short carry. A couple of carries, 7 yards for Xavion Kendall. We have a sideline warning for Hedgesville. It gives us a quick moment to remind you our broadcast presented on TV 10 in this opening quarter by Ollie's VIP Northside at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. Join friends at Ollie's VIP to watch the game and enjoy great food and a good time. Also, Kelly Allstate Insurance. For all of your insurance needs, call Gary Kelly 304-263-4596 or stop by 724 Lakeview Drive in Martinsburg. Well, action getting back underway, but a penalty marker comes down from the near side official, and it's encroachment on Hedgesville, +5, as someone lined up in that neutral zone.
Yeah, Matt Faircloth livid on the sideline at his players.
Each team has now been penalized for an encroachment or offside, if you will, and each time it has come on a 3rd down and short, giving the opponent a first down.
I mean, that's something you can't do. You can't give them free first downs in this kind of ball game, especially if you're Hedgesville.
Nah, Martinsburg's tough enough to beat. From their own 42 now, 1st and 10 for the Dogs. Murphy Clement fakes that handoff and keeps it coming here to the left side. Gets a nice block from his brother Hudson Clement, but hang on, late flag comes in, and it was a hold by Hudson Clement.
Yeah, you can't do that. As much as you want to block for your brother like that, you can't do that.
Let's see. It looks like they're going to move it back to about the 45-yard line. So that would be a pickup of 3 before the penalty gets marked off. And the Dogs will have first down and what should be just about 17 yards to go for a first after that -10 on the hold. 2 penalties, 15 yards now for Martinsburg. So move it back to just about, just inside, if you will, their own 35.
And that's something I talked about, making silly mistakes right there. You didn't need to hold the guy. You already had a good pickup.
Coach Faircloth has to like what he's seeing right now. Down 7-0, but we're down to 3:40 on this running first quarter clock. His team's doing a nice job of being able to make Martinsburg work to get down the field. Dogs had a 5-play drive the first time. This is the 4th play of the drive here. Murphy Clement, little play action, lobs over the middle. Hudson Clement with a catch in behind the defense at the 40-yard line. Grab from behind, drags the tackler inside the 35, and finally gets gang tackled at the 33-yard line of Hedgesville.
And great throw there by Murphy Clement. He was under pressure, getting hit as he threw. And honestly, the defensive back for Hedgesville was just a little out of alignment, or he could have probably had his hand on that and deflected the pass. And it would have been incomplete and brought up 3rd down.
32 yards on the pass completion for the Bulldogs' 5th first down. 1st down and 10 now from that 33 of Hedgesville. And Murphy Clement on the keeper, moving to his right, sidesteps a tackle inside of the 25 and down to the 20-yard line, and maybe even inside of that 20. Let's see where they spot it.
Bit on that zone read.
Another Bulldog first down on the carry. They do set it directly on that 20-yard line, so that's a pickup of 13 yards, 3 carries, 19 yards in this possession for Murphy Clement. He's got Xavion Kendall to his left. They've got a bubble machine going out of the student section, I believe, here at Hedgesville. They're floating across the field. Here's a screen pass over the middle. Hudson Clement with a catch to the far side hash mark outside the numbers, angling towards the end zone. Did he get in? Yes, it's a Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown.
Flag comes out late, though.
Now let's check and see, because that flag is down at like the 3-yard line.
It was almost as if it was happening right when Clement was running into the end zone.
So we may end up with a hold or a block in the back, or perhaps, our head referee talking to the Bulldogs sideline, so might be something on Hedgesville. Yep, touchdown will stand, and it's a face mask. So the 5-yard variety on the face mask, and that will be penalized on the kickoff. So the 20-yard touchdown pass as Murphy Clement throws his 7th touchdown pass on the season, while Hudson Clement pulls in his 4th touchdown reception. Extra point attempt for Terwilliger. Martinsburg with that muddle huddle style. There is the snap, and they'll run an option here to the near side, and Hudson Clement eventually pitching, and the football is grabbed by a Hedgesville Eagle, and he'll head the other way, and hang on. They will blow the play dead, I believe. Yep, he will continue to run, but on the high school game, the 2-point conversion is simply nullified, and Martinsburg will settle for a 13-0 lead. 2:29 to play in quarter number 1. We're back in 60 seconds.
2-point conversion.
Ollie's VIP Northside is the best local spot to catch all of your favorite high school, college, and pro sports, or to hang out with friends. Ollie's has a great beer and cocktail menu, along with a food menu that will blow you away. Ollie's offers multiple TVs to watch the game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio with cornhole and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP Northside. We'll see you for the game.
The right attorney can make all the difference in the outcome of your case.
I called Sutton and Janelle, the best lawyers you could ask for.
Sutton and Janelle Attorneys at Law. 70 years of collective legal experience, family law, criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, and mediation.
Sutton and Janelle got the most favorable outcome I could have expected.
Visit Sutton and Janelle's new historic location, 224 West King Street in Martinsburg. Online at suttonandjanelle.com. Sutton and Janelle Attorneys at Law. They value your rights and are passionate about your success.
Drive summary being brought to you by 61st District Delegates Jason Barrett, Trusted Leadership, Real Solutions. 6 plays, 69 yards, 2 minutes, 57 seconds for the Bulldogs. A 20-yard touchdown pass, Murphy Clement to Hudson Clement. And the 2-point conversion failed. The Dogs still hold a 13-0 lead. A couple of penalties now on Hedgesville. 2 penalties for 10 yards as that face mask now gets marked on the kickoff. So it comes from the 45-yard line. And it's a bouncing kick along the far side that takes a high hop over the front man, but then had the angle and enough momentum that it goes out of bounds. And Hedgesville will take the football. So that's another 5-yard penalty on Martinsburg as they will mark it from where that one went out of bounds. That is Gavin Stenger wearing number 27. Thank you, Bill Harper, for giving us that information. So Stenger out there in number 27. So the Dogs now, with that penalty on the kick going out of bounds, 3 penalties for 20 yards for Martinsburg. And the ball is being set down at the 38. Second possession for Hedgesville. They moved the ball on their first possession, but ultimately turned it over on downs when they got 2 yards on a 4th down and 3. Let's see if they can get that ball moving again. There is the snap back, and Ruest hands it off. Albright on the carry, met in the hole, but works his way forward just beyond the 40. So a pickup of about 3 yards. He's been their workhorse. That is 5 carries now for 17 yards.
And I think, you mentioned just chunks of yards at a time, and they're kind of getting close to that 3 average that you were talking about.
Second down, a long 7 or a short 8, I guess, depends on whether you look at that glass, half full or half empty. Moving from left to right. Ruest again will line up in the shotgun. The 2 big fullbacks, or H-backs, if you will, in an I formation in front of him to his left, and then Albright, the tailback, to his right. There is the snap back and the handoff to Albright right up the middle of the field. There he goes down the middle of the field. Can he outrun Murphy Clement? No, he can't. Clement catches him from behind, inside the 30, inside the 25. They're going to mark him at the Bulldog 24-yard line, and that gain is going to be good for 36 yards.
I mean, wow, he just found that hole, busted it up, and now almost into the red zone.
Boy, add that to his prior total, and he's up to 53 yards on 6 carries. That's what Coach Faircloth was looking for. So from the Bulldog 24, we'll have a timeout taken by Martinsburg. Let's take the break as well. 1 minute, 22 seconds to play quarter number 1, and Martinsburg leading 13-0.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
Conveniently located at 440 Williamsport Pike in Martinsburg, Sunset Car Wash's staff specializes in keeping your car clean. From our famous 3-minute cloth wash to our touchless automatic and 6 self-serve bays, we offer whatever preference you have for your car wash needs. If your vehicle could talk, it would say, "Take me to Sunset Car Wash." That's Sunset Car Wash at 440 Williamsport Pike in Martinsburg. Locally owned and operated.
So Martinsburg, head coach Britt Sherman burning the defensive timeout after that 36-yard run for Nathan Albright. Hedgesville with a 1st and 10 at the Bulldog 24. 1:22 left, quarter number 1. They'll shift linemen from the right to the left side. Those H-backs or fullbacks that way as well. Snap goes back, and the handoff to Albright, met in the hole very quickly, taken down. Down at the bottom of the pile Grabbing him by the ankles is Kai Fagan. He's a 6 foot, 190-pound junior linebacker. Good tackle.
And I would say Hedgesville's really, really testing this Martinsburg defense early.
Mark it at the 23 for a gain of 1. Again, I think that they're getting what they want, and that's the idea of controlling this tempo, not allowing Martinsburg so far to come up with huge, quick scoring plays and being able to control it a little bit themselves offensively, but they got to find a way to get some points at the end of a drive like this. Snap goes back. West hands it off. Running to his right. Albright gets down to the 20-yard line for a pickup of 3, but then gets taken down there.
Now in the red zone, if they're going to mark it at the 20.
3rd down and 6. Clement in on the tackle. From the 20 of Martinsburg, a key 3rd down coming. Already 8 carries for 57 yards. Looking back, they've run a grand total of 10 plays, and he's carried 8 of those.
Well, I mean, that's what this offense is all about. Getting that running back the ball.
Well, they're going to let the clock wind all the way down as they do not have to snap it before the end of the quarter. And we will head to quarter number 2 when we come back here to Moomaw Stadium with Martinsburg leading Hedgesville 13-0.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
The Mid-Atlantic Group has been serving the area's insurance needs for 40 years. We are an independent insurance agency, therefore we can offer insurance from many insurance companies. Find the right coverage at the right price with Easy Payment Plan. Located at 201 West Martin Street in Martinsburg, the Mid-Atlantic Group is easily accessible from Morgan, Jefferson, and Berkeley County. To set up an appointment with a local insurance professional, give them a call today at 304-267-8989. That's the Mid-Atlantic Group at 201 West Martin Street in Martinsburg. Let them help insure you today.
Along with Spencer Dupuis, I'm Matt Miller, John Alderton, Donald Kenny, Colin McLaughlin running cameras. McLaughlin on that sideline as well, giving us some reports. Donna Schaffner, our producer, Nick Verzolini back at the studio. 13-0 Martinsburg, quarter number 2 getting underway from the Bulldog 20, a 3rd and 6 for Hedgesville. Handoff going to Albright, able to get through a hole at the line off the left side, but stood up in that secondary before he could get the first down.
Just a yard and a half short right there.
Looks like a gain of 4, so they'll call it a 4th down and 2 as the ball is down at the 16-yard line. 6th play of the possession coming, and I stand corrected. That's now 10 carries in 11 plays for Albright. 61 yards what he has. Hedgesville now 1 for 3 on 3rd down conversions, and the lone conversion came on a Bulldog offside penalty. They gave him that first down. So 4th down and 2 here. They fell a yard short on a 4th and 3 on their first possession. West out of the gun, sends a man in motion, hands it off to Albright, met in the hole, and down he goes. Nothing doing. Is that Barrick? Yes, it is. The linebacker for the Bulldogs coming in and making that stop. Jacob Barrick, 6'4", 220, and the senior with the stop in the backfield.
Yeah, great job by Barrick there to not let him get the first down, but if you're Hedgesville, that's now 2 possessions that have ended on turnover on downs.
Yeah, that one a loss of about 3 back to the 19-yard line. And Martinsburg will take over.
On the plus side of the field, too, you just can't – you're just going to lose too many ball games like that.
Ezra Bajan out of the gun, awaiting the snap. Kendall to his right side. Bajan to throw. Deep down that far side. Has an open receiver and overthrows Cash Gideon by about 2 yards.
And if you had Cash Gideon there, it was green grass, nothing else in front of him for 6.
2nd down.
First incompletion for Ezra Bajan, now 3 of 4 for 36 yards. That all came in the opening possession, including the 8-yard touchdown pass that got the scoring started to Roman Pearson. 2nd down and 10 coming from their own 19. Bajan looking over the defense, wide side of the field right. He'll give the pitch to Kendall, coming to this right side, and he will get to about the 22 before being grabbed and spun down there. Nice defensive play by Bryce Sotile, senior, able to help make that stop. Sotil, my apologies as I hear the correct pronunciation on the name. So a gain of maybe 3, and they'll call it a third down and about 7. Football out to about the 23-yard line. See if the Dogs can convert. 1 for 1 on third down conversion so far, but that came on a penalty, and we have a timeout. Hedgesville will take the break as well with 10:22 remaining in the first half, and Martinsburg in front 13.
When you've been in a wreck, you're hurting, you're confused, the insurance company's calling you.
Insurance companies are not your friend. They have a duty to their shareholders, not to you. That's why you need to call us to make sure that you are maximizing what you are entitled to.
We've recovered over $100 million for our clients. Every case is different, no result is guaranteed. But one thing's for sure, we'll treat you like family.
So each team now burning a defensive timeout. See if it helps as Martinsburg faces a third down and 6 from their own 23-yard line. Ball along the near side hash mark, wide side of the field left as the Dogs move from left to right. Ezra Bajan with a hard cadence, but Hedgesville holds their ground, and now the play call changed from the sideline. Trip receivers out to that left, single receiver here to the right. Xavion Kendall, lone set in the backfield. There's the snap back and the throw over the middle, overshoots his intended target. Looked like he might have been expecting Hudson Clement to turn more upfield, and Clement continued on an angle from the far side to the near side, and they weren't on the same page.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Not on the same page there, and it looks like they're going for it. Maybe a pooch punt.
Yeah, that has been the strategy for Martinsburg so far this season, as Ezra Bajent has all of the punts. Martinsburg so far on the year has punted a grand total of 4 times. Bajent has done all of them, an average of 30.5 yards a kick, a long of 33. He awaits that snap. They line up in a regular formation, so the defense has to hold their ground. Down to 4-3 on the play clock. There is the snap, and they will go for a receiver screen, far side, and he overthrows the intended target, Hudson Clement. It's incomplete, and the Dogs turn it over on downs.
And the Hedgesville will get the ball nearly where they gave the ball up on the turnover on downs.
Well, there you go. Martinsburg did not decide to do that quick kick. They went for it from the 23-yard line on that 4th down play and came up empty. And with the turnover, 0 of 1 on 4th down now in this one, and Hedgesville has great field position.
Look for them to hopefully get it in the end zone here and make it only a 6-point ball game.
Well, and they need to punch it in here. When you get this opportunity in a game like this against a powerhouse like Martinsburg, you got to take advantage of these kind of chances. Jackson Ruest out of the gun, taking that snap, handing it off. Albright's hit right at the line of scrimmage. Falls forward for a gain of maybe 1. Wow, I still have him now 12 carries, about 59 yards, and they've run 13 total plays. So he is the workhorse in this one. Eric King with that stop at the 22. 2nd and 9 coming. Ruest comes to the near sideline, getting that play call from Coach Matt Faircloth in his 2nd season. A tough 0-7 campaign a year ago. They're 2-2 as they come into this one, trying to find a way to pull what would be a major upset across the Mountain State. But right now down 13-0. There's the snap back. Ruest going to hand it off, and wow, they couldn't block Fleming that time. He got through, and so did, is that Christian Slack? It is. Yep. The 2 defensive tackles making the stop in the backfield, a loss of 1, 3rd and 10. Man, there's Albright again on the carry.
I mean, one thing that it's kind of hard to do in this offense that they're running is, have a balance of the run game and the pass game. Obviously, you're not focused on passing, but right here they could use a pass.
Yep, they haven't thrown one yet. Let's see what they do. Our broadcast presented on TV 10 here in this second quarter by Orsini's Home Store, not just an appliance store any longer. They're at 360 Hack Wilson Way, Martinsburg, and Orsinis.com. And Kelly Allstate Insurance for all your insurance needs. Call Gary Kelly, 304-263-4596. Well, they are going to try to throw. Ruest flushed from the pocket, throws and incomplete as he tried to get it to his tight end, Eli Faircloth. He was moving here to his left, backpedaling, and just couldn't get enough on the throw with all the pressure coming from the Dogs.
Yeah, I mean, now it's 4th down and 10, and you really got to get a first down here.
Really tough to throw on this Bulldog defense. The way that line gets into the backfield, 8 sacks through their first 4 games for minus 44 yards. So from the 23 of Martinsburg, it now becomes a 4th down and 10. 0 of 2 on a 4th down try so far. See what Hedgesville will do here. Again, too close to punt, too far for a field goal. So Ruest on the roll to the far side, lets the pass go. Grab is made, but the receiver goes down just inside the 15 at the 14, and I don't think it's going to be enough. Gage Creel able to pull that one in, but just short of what he needed for the first down. Wow. That pickup going to be good for 8 yards down to the 15-yard line, but that was a 4th down and 10, so they again fall just short.
Yeah, and backing Martinsburg up deep in its own territory here.
Well, the Dogs turned it over on downs on their last possession. Can Hedgesville come up with another big stop from their own 15? That's Murphy Clement back up there at quarterback. He's going to keep it off the left side. He gets to the sideline outside the numbers. He's beyond the 40 and will step out of bounds. Let's see where they spot him at about the 41-yard line.
Right after I mentioned they're deep in their own territory, what does Clement do? Get all the way to near the 40-yard line.
Yeah, reels off a 26-yard run.
Yeah, right on cue.
26 yards.
45 yards now for him on just 3. No, pardon me, make that 4 carries. And now from the 41-yard line, still in Bulldog territory, it is 1st down and 10. 7th, make it 8th Bulldog first down in this first half. Murphy Clement wants to throw this time deep down that far side, looking for Cash, getting in very tightly covered out there by Kanye Smith, and the pass a little overthrown. It is incomplete.
Great coverage out there by Kanye Smith. Can't say anything more about it. He's playing right with the Martinsburg receiver.
Clement's pass to Gideon was incomplete.
So with the incompletion, it will bring up 2nd down and 10 from the 41, still in Bulldog territory. 3rd offensive possession of this first half. 13-0 is that Martinsburg advantage. 8:10 to play in the second quarter. Murphy Clement has that shotgun snap. Going to hand this one off. Nope, he faked the give to Xavion Kendall, and then Clement turns the corner on the left side. And stopping him is Kanye Smith just before he could get to that 40-yard line. Or nope, they'll spot it right on the midfield stripe. So that is a pickup of 9 yards, and Martinsburg will face 3rd and maybe even less than a yard.
I mean, great job there by Clement, seeing the guys coming in on that read option and able to take that option and go to the outside and gain, 8, 9 yards.
Yeah, 9 on that carry. He awaits the shotgun snap here. He's got it. Follows the lead blocker who was his tailback, but then at the last second he cut off to his left and barely picked up that first down. So Murphy Clement will pick up 2, maybe even 3. Yeah, it looks like a 3-yard gain down to the 47, and it is enough for the first down. 9 first downs for the Dogs now, 2 of 3 on 3rd down conversions. 5th play of this possession coming up.
And I mean, if you're the Bulldogs coming in this game, you really probably thought you were going to be at a bigger lead at this point.
Outscoring opponents in the first half, 110-40 so far this year. Screen pass, far side, caught by Xavion Kendall. Kendall down the far sideline. It's a foot race. He's to the 10, the 5, and into the end zone. It's a Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown.
Right on cue, right, Matt? Right as I talk about that, they just score.
There you go. 47 yards on the pass completion on the screen pass to Xavion Kendall. Murphy Clement has now thrown for 99 yards, completing 3 out of 4 passes, while also running for 57 yards on 6 attempts. Looking back at that one for Xavion Kendall, that is the 3rd reception out of the backfield. He had 46 receiving yards coming in, 47 on that one, and his first receiving touchdown. Dogs want the ball moved over to the left side hash mark as Ezra Bajan is out there at quarterback, and the Dogs will go for the 2-point conversion. There is the snap back, controlled roll here to the near side, and the throw into the back of the end zone, and Jacob Barrick high up into the air, pulls it in, and gets the feet down for the 2-point conversion catch. And with 6 minutes, 50 seconds to play in our first half, we take a break with the Bulldogs leading 21-0.
A reputation for caring, a legacy of service. At Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, it's been our story since 1880. A family-owned business, we support the needs and wishes of families. We offer traditional services, as well as many options for cremation, customized remembrances, and pre-planning. Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations retains its family atmosphere and stays true to its roots. Contact us for advanced planning, or at your time of loss. We're here when you need us.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
We'll give you the scoring drive summary in just a moment. Brought to you by 61st District Delegate Jason Barrett, Trusted Leadership, Real Solutions. Brent Terwilliger with the kickoff approaching. Football's at the 40 to our left, and he's going to pop this one up along the far side. Fair catch called for and made at about the 28-yard line. Is that West or a 9? I can't tell. 8 or 9. And that is number 9. That is Gage Creel who pulled that one in. The Bulldogs scoring drive, 5 plays, 85 yards. Took just a minute and 38 seconds, 47 yards on the screen pass for a touchdown going from Murphy Clement to Xavion Kendall. 21-0 Martinsburg. 6:50 to play, first half. 4th offensive possession for Hedgesville in the first half. They've been able to move the ball a little bit, been able to take some time off the clock. The issue is they just haven't been able to get points.
Yeah, and this is kind of like the game that we saw when Nick and I called the game against Washington, first game of the year.
West taking that snap and handing it off, and the ball carrier moving forward out close to the 30-yard line. A pickup of 2, and one more time. That is Nathan Albright, 14 carries, 60 yards now for him. Nathan Albright, a senior, going to need the hot tub after this one. Bunch of carries already early on in this one.
I mean, isn't that what he's done all year? I feel like that's the MO of this offense, so he gets a lot of carries.
Yeah, they've got 3 guys listed behind him. Gabe Tost, one of those, but Tost also serving as a wingback in this hybrid single-wing offense. Down to 3, down to 2, down to 1 on the play clock, and Coach Matt Faircloth will call for the timeout. Let's take a 30-second break, just 30 seconds this go around, and then we will come back to Moomaw Stadium with Martinsburg leading Hedgesville in quarter number 2, 21-0.
The right attorney can make all the difference in the outcome of your case.
I called Sutton and Janelle, the best lawyers you could ask for.
Sutton and Janelle Attorneys at Law. 70 years of collective legal experience, family law, criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, and mediation.
Sutton and Janelle got the most favorable outcome I could have expected.
Visit Sutton and Janelle's new historic location, 224 West King Street in Martinsburg. Online at suttonandjanelle.com. Sutton and Janelle Attorneys at Law. They value your rights and are passionate about your success.
25th consecutive win in this series. Hedgesville's not knocked off Martinsburg since that 1997 season. And frankly, not a lot of people knocking off the Dogs in recent years. They've won 65 of the last 66 games over 5+ seasons, with the only loss last year against Spring Valley in Week 2. All right,
they'll try to get redemption at the end of the year.
Out of the Hedgesville timeout, they face a 2nd and 8 from the 30-yard line. Handoff going to Albright, coming here to the near side. He runs into the back of one of his offensive linemen. That was Richie Harper who was pulling on the play. Harper goes down at the end of the play along with Albright. But a nice job as they get out to the 37-yard line. A gain of 7, and now a very makeable 3rd and 1.
Yeah, I think he got cleated there at the end of the game, or at the end of the of the play. He's now on the sideline.
They are just 1 of 4 on 3rd down conversions, 0 of 3 on 4th down. Hedgesville really needs to convert here.
And I think on that play, they had a great opportunity to potentially get the 1st down, but I think he just ran into the back of his own man.
I've got just 2 first downs for Hedgesville so far in this first half. One of those coming on a penalty. Handoff going to Albright. Met in the backfield, drags tacklers forward. It's going to depend on the spot.
If they didn't blow the whistle when they did, that would have been a first down either way. But they did stop forward progress, and they gave him the first.
Yep, he did get out to the 38-yard line, needed a yard, and that is exactly what he got. 68 yards on 16 carries already. And there is another first down. They're able to control that clock with 4:47 and counting from their own 38 on a 1st down and 10, 4th play of the possession. West out of the gun. 3 guys lined up to his left side. They'll all 3 be lead blockers as West keeps it in absolutely no place to go. Martinsburg snuffed that one out. Had a whole host of Bulldogs there to help make the tackle. And Cam Shallis leading the way. Shallis, the Dog, 3rd leading tackler, actually tied with Jacob Barrick with 24 tackles coming in.
Yeah, definitely blocked every hole, closed every hole possible that Eagles offensive line created there for a single second, and back to where you were behind the sticks. It's not good.
2nd and 12 after a loss of 2, back to the 36-yard line. West trying to get everybody lined up as we're under 4 minutes to play in this second quarter and under 7 seconds on the play clock. Gave us to Albright, looking for running room off that right side. Gets into the linebacking core where Hudson Clement wraps him up. I believe Roman Pearson, the defensive back there, to help make that stop as well. Marcus progress, though, to the 40, and that is a hard-fought 4 yards.
Yeah, definitely a hard-fought 4 yards, and if they were to get a positive play on first down, maybe 2 or 3 yards, then they'd be at 3rd down and 3-4 yards.
As it is, it's a 3rd down and 8. Wanting to keep this drive going, trying to find a way to get into the end zone. They've turned it over on downs at the Bulldog 32, turned it over on downs at the Martinsburg 16, turned it over on downs at the Bulldog 23. Now they're at their own 40, facing a 3rd down and 8. This would be punting territory if needed, and the play clock winding down to a point. It was almost ready to wind out completely, and Coach Matt Faircloth calls for a break. Now that'll be his final timeout. So he's going to have to see how the rest of this half plays out. Hey, as we get an opportunity, we got word from the Martinsburg High School Alumni Association that they have a fall alumni luncheon banquet coming up on Saturday, October 23rd. It will be at 1 p.m. at the Holiday Inn on Foxcroft Avenue. Cost is $20 a person. You can select whether you would like a grilled chicken on salad greens or a roast turkey and brie croissant. Soup and dessert also are included. If you are an MHS alum and would like to attend, you can pick up your tickets at Flowers Unlimited, the Martinsburg Public Library, Patterson's Drugstore, or by contacting Dale Hicks. He is a regular viewer of our broadcast. You can call him at 304-676-6969 to pick up your tickets. 3rd and 8 for Hedgesville. Coming out of the timeout, their final one of this first half. 2:54 to play in quarter number 2. 21-0. Martinsburg out in front. Ball's along that far side hash mark. Single receiver really wide here to the near side, and then 2 tight slots bunched together. Ruest wants to throw. Pocket is collapsing. He is hit. Throws it, and is anyone in the vicinity? Waiting to see. The official's not going to throw a flag, so someone was close enough that instead of intentional grounding, it will be an incomplete pass and 4th down.
I think the tight end Faircloth was there.
Flag on the play.
Oh, wait, now we
do have one. It kind of looked like Eli Faircloth was close, but I guess not close enough.
I was going to say, I guess the question is...
Was it 5 yards?
Right.
Guess he was probably a little bit over that.
They are now going to pick it up and wave off that flag. So a couple of officials doing what they're supposed to do. They get together, and the official who dropped the flag picks it up and says, I got you. I didn't see that particular receiver in the vicinity. So it remains an incomplete pass. There's no penalty. It'll go back to the 40-yard line, and now Hedgesville will bring Ruest out. He's already been out there, but they'll try to snap that football and punt it away. And Ruest is going to keep it. Coming here to the near side. He's across the midfield stripe and stepping out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. Let's see where they're going to spot him. Jackson Ruest, who is also the punter, found an opening off this left side of the line. I'm not sure Martinsburg got everybody off the field as they were racing, guys.
They got away with one there. There's 12 men on the field for Martinsburg.
Mark it down to that Bulldog 36-yard line.
They definitely got away with it. I was counting the guys. I was like, because they definitely kind of knew there was a fake. I think that they were originally sending their specials out, and then they kind of pulled them off, sent some of the defense back. But not all they were probably a mix between defense, the defense that should be out there, and the specials. But they definitely got away with one right there.
25 yards on the carry. 1st down and 10 coming from the Bulldog 35. Now, no timeouts left. 2:14 on that second quarter clock. They're going to have to pick up the pace.
There's actually 13 guys on the field when the ball was snapped.
Snap goes back. A direct snap going to Albright, who had lined up to the right side of Ruest, and Albright pushes his way forward for a pickup of a couple. See where they're going to spot it. From the 34, a gain of only a yard. 9th play of the possession coming up. 2nd down and 9.
2nd down.
And again, they're going to go ahead and let time run off the clock. 1:40 and counting in our first half.
I mean, they don't have any timeouts left, so
no,
they can't call a timeout.
No sign of hurry up, though. Perhaps hoping maybe they can break a play. 2 backs to the right of the quarterback. Those big fullbacks or H-backs in an I formation. Albright off to the left side of Ruest. Handoff going to Albright, moving to his right. Sees a little cutback to his left. He took a pretty good hit in there from a Bulldog linebacker. I believe that's Jaden Kendrick. It is, the 6', 200-pound junior with the stop. It comes at the 31 after a pickup of 3. So 3rd and 6 coming.
And, just letting everything go. Coach Faircloth doesn't look like he's just being nonchalant, telling Ruest about the play.
Down to 50, 49, 48 seconds on that game clock. Down to 15 on that play clock. On 3rd down and 6. They get lined up with the 2 big fullbacks in that I to the left. Ruest taking that snap, handing it off, and no place to go for Albright this time. Met in that hole by E.J. Hendricks along with Kai Fagan. That tackle comes in the backfield, and now Did Martinsburg burn a timeout? Yes, they did. So the Bulldogs used their second timeout, stopping the clock with 26.7 seconds left. That ball goes back to the 33, so it's a loss of 2, and will bring up a 4th down and 8.
Yeah, the light right here next to me we have on, and it popped off there for a few minutes. Thought the light burnt out. That just popped right back on.
It has come back again.
Does that mean something big's going to happen right here?
We will wait and see. Not sure. Martinsburg feeling like they can make a play here and at least get one more chance with the football. You know, they've got big play capabilities with those guys on offense. We'll be hearing from Britt Sherman as they head into the locker room at the half. We'll check in with Colin McLaughlin here in just a little bit. Right now, the two teams huddled up on their respective sidelines with a 4th down and 8 coming for Hedgesville from their own 33-yard line. So 26.7 seconds left. The team's lining up. And again, from the 33, you're not going to punt. You're not going to try a field goal. Hedgesville will go for it on the 4th down and 8. And there's movement by both offensive and defensive linemen, and that will be a procedure penalty against Hedgesville. Ouch, that one hurts.
Against the Eagles.
Yeah, definitely hurts just trying to get something with, under 20, just about 25 seconds left in the first half.
3 penalties, 15 yards now on Hedgesville in this first half. Neither team has been penalized a lot. It's been a pretty cleanly played game, but that one hurts as it moves it back to about the 38-yard line and now becomes a 4th down and 13. Wide out moving to that far side is Tanner Matthew.
I almost wonder if you pooch it here.
Albright out of the backfield moves to a receiver here on the left side. And here's a deep throw along that far side looking for Matthew, but overthrown and incomplete. Murphy Clement with him stride for stride, and with pressure coming right at Ruest. He was thrown off his back foot and just heaved it as far as he could. Now we do have a penalty marker down at the end of the play. Looks like a penalty against Martinsburg. Personal foul on the Bulldogs. So it will come at the end of the play, which was an incomplete pass, then plus 15 for the personal foul. That's a huge, huge penalty, as Martinsburg now penalized for the 4th time in this first half for 35 yards, and it gives a 1st down to the Hedgesville Eagles.
And again, that's something that I mentioned as a key to the game for Martinsburg. Don't make silly mistakes. How silly
or does it? Hold on. No, it does not.
What?
As they mark that penalty off. So the Bulldogs do take over. It's a dead ball penalty apparently afterwards, and that's what it is. So there you go. Dead ball penalty. So not during the play, but at the end of the play, and that's where the penalty gets marked off back to that Bulldog 24-yard line. So 1st down and 10. Snap goes back and past the quarterback who was not looking for it. Now it gets picked up, and down he goes inside the 10-yard line. I believe it's Bajan out there at quarterback, and it is.
They'll just let the clock run out here in the first half.
Well, you certainly should, as the ball's going to get set down at about the 7-yard line. And that is going to end up being a loss of 17 yards on the bad snap, not the way Martinsburg wanted to end the first half. All right, let's see if Coach Sherman is with Colin down on the sideline. Colin, take it away.
All right, thank you, guys. I'm down here with Coach Sherman. So far, so good this half. 21-0 up right now. What are you going to tell you guys going in?
Stop playing down to competition and, play like we play football and stop being sloppy.
All righty. What have you liked so far from the team?
We got a couple big stops, putting them in bad positions, on bad onside kicks. Defense come up big. Hadn't let them score any points. So that's been good.
All right, thank you, Coach. See you in the post game. Back up to you guys.
Colin, thank you very much. So obviously some things that head coach Britt Sherman would like to work on as they go into the locker room with a 21-0 lead. Halftime activities coming up after this 2-minute timeout. It's West Virginia high school football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg has a brand new list of daily specials. Monday, stop on in for burger night or enjoy a nice juicy steak every Tuesday and Wednesday. The Palace Lounge also offers freshly steamed shrimp Thursdays and chef specials every Friday and Saturday. Sunday is all-day breakfast and there are drink specials daily too. So come enjoy the Palace Lounge. You can find them on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard.
Spring Valley Farm and Orchard in beautiful Hampshire County is owned by the Cooks, Eli and Misty, and their 3 children who farm on 820 acres and grow fresh peaches, apples, corn, tomatoes, melons, squash, zucchini, beans, and more. Spring Valley Farm Market has a new location at 1793 Dry Run Road in Martinsburg and a Winchester location too. Open Monday through Saturday 9 until 5 and Sunday 9 to 4. For the freshest, highest quality fruit and produce, shop Spring Valley Farm Market. Buy fresh, buy local.
Conveniently located at 440 Williamsport Pike in Martinsburg, Sunset Car Wash's staff specializes in keeping your car clean. From our famous 3-minute cloth wash to our touchless automatic and 6 self-serve bays. We offer whatever preference you have for your car wash needs. If your vehicle could talk, it would say, "Take me to Sunset Car Wash." That's Sunset Car Wash at 440 Williamsport Pike in Martinsburg. Locally owned and operated. Home Helpers of the Eastern Panhandle, making life easier for you, your family, and especially your loved one who needs care. We offer Direct Link's exclusive line of medical alert systems, monitored 24/7 by CSAA 5 Diamond Certified Care Center with help at the touch of a button. Free installation and no long-term contracts. Call 304-433-8000 or visit homehelpershomecare.com/panhandle or stop by and see them. They're located on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg. Each office independently owned and operated.
Into Moomaw Stadium, our halftime brought to you by the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com to find out more. We get our halftime underway, recapping the scoring in this one. Martinsburg took the opening possession, 5 plays, 63 yards in 2 minutes and 18 seconds. An 8-yard touchdown pass, Ezra Bajan to Roman Pearson, and Martinsburg had a 7-0 lead with 9:40 to play in quarter number 1. Hedgesville's opening possession, they got a first down on an offside penalty by Martinsburg on a 3rd and 3. Got to that Bulldog 32, but on a 4th and 3, fell a yard short and turned it over on downs. Martinsburg taking over at their own 31. Needed 6 plays, 2 minutes 57 seconds to cover 69 yards. A 20-yard touchdown pass going from Murphy Clement to his brother Hudson Clement. The 2-point conversion failed, but Martinsburg led 13-0. It would be that score as we went into quarter number 2. Again, Hedgesville turning it over on downs on their second possession. Martinsburg takes over at their own 19, and surprisingly, from their own 23, the Bulldogs end up throwing an incomplete pass on a 4th down and 6. It seemed to be some confusion on that particular play. Martinsburg turned it over, but with the turnover on downs, the defense did its job as Hedgesville took over at the Martinsburg 23, but had a 1-yard gain, a 1-yard loss, an incomplete pass, and then a pass completion for 8 yards, falling 2 yards short of what they needed for the first. Martinsburg would take over, and 5 plays later, they covered 85 yards. Took them 1 minute and 38 seconds, and it was a 47-yard screen pass for a touchdown. Murphy Clement to Xavion Kendall, and that has Martinsburg out in front by a 21-0 score as the 2-point conversion was up and good. At the end of the second quarter, Hedgesville put together their best drive, got it up to 11 plays, but ultimately turned it over on downs, and that's been it. They haven't punted yet.
No, they haven't punted. They just turned it over.
Each time they've had it, they've been able to do at least what you would call a little bit of something with it. They've made some plays. They've gotten a first down here or there, but unfortunately no points on the board as they have turned it over on downs on each of their first 4 possessions in this first half. All right, we'll have some statistics for you coming up after Nick Verzolini brings us our halftime scoreboard show. It's the Martinsburg High School Marching Band on the field right now. Nick, let's take about 30 seconds or so, get a little bit of the marching band on the air before we get into our break and find out what is going on elsewhere around the Eastern Panhandle and the Mountain State in high school football on this Friday night. And then we will return with our first half numbers a little later on our halftime, brought to you by the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm in Martinsburg. Here's a few seconds of the Martinsburg High Marching Band.
Ever try to collect on an insurance claim? Perhaps a homeowner's claim, auto accident, or fire. Insurance companies collect money from you for protection should something bad happen. And when it does, they don't want to pay, or they offer too little. At Mansion Ferretti, we have an attorney who worked defending insurance companies and knows all the dirty tricks they play to deny or lowball your claim. Call us today for help in getting what you really deserve. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg has a brand new list of daily specials. Monday, stop on in for burger night or enjoy a nice juicy steak every Tuesday and Wednesday. The Palace Lounge also offers freshly steamed shrimp Thursdays and chef specials every Friday and Saturday. Sunday is all-day breakfast and there are drink specials daily too. So come enjoy the Palace Lounge. You can find them on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard.
The Honda Civic and the Accord are uniquely stylish in their own way. But do you know what they have in common? Reliability and comfort? Sure. Available turbocharged engines? Of course. But also, the driver, having fun for no reason, except for the thrill of driving a Honda. Kelley Blue Book's 2021 Best Value Brand.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
Based on 2021 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit kbb.com for more information.
Nothing's better for celebrating after a tough day on the gridiron than a refreshing beer from the frozen tundra of Rock's Beer Cave. Go ahead. Pour it on, big guy.
The beer was for after the game.
Sorry, Coach. Cold beer. Get your Rock's cold beer.
Welcome into your halftime scoreboard update here. Martinsburg leading at the half 21-0 over Hedgesville. Nick Verzolini here with the halftime scoreboard update. Jefferson beating up on North Hagerstown right now, 49-7. That game in the fourth quarter because of Maryland. They're starting games at 6:30. So the Cougars looking good. The number 3 ranked Cougars all over North Hagerstown. And that one, Parkview taking on Washington tonight. And that one we do not have a score for you, but that is a matchup also in our area. Musselman on bye along with Spring Mills. So let's get to some other AAA scores. Huntington and Capital doing battle. Surprisingly, the Highlanders trail right now 7-0. The number 1 ranked Highlanders, so certainly Martinsburg keeping their eyes on that one. Number 2, Kaiser in AA, beating up on Hampshire 30-7. Fairmont Senior trailing University 7-0. South Charleston, Spring Valley. This is a huge game in the southern part of the state. It's a top 10 matchup, and it's Spring Valley 16, South Charleston 0. Princeton and Lord Bertort, Virginia was postponed. Cabell Midland beating up on Parkersburg 28-0. John Marshall leads Parkersburg South 14-8. And we'll get some scores The big ones in Double-A as well for you. Winfield leading Logan 15-7. Scott Chapmanville doing battle tonight. No score on that one yet. Point Pleasant leading Lincoln County 21-8. Bridgeport beating Robert C. Byrd in a close one, 13-10 at the half. Herbert Hoover over Sissonville right now, 28-0. Frankfort, the number 1 team at Class 2A, losing to Northern Garrett, Maryland, 14-0. And Liberty Harrison beating Grafton 27-20. Nicholas County over Wyoming East, 40-0. Philip Barber over Elkins, 12-0. Wayne over Nitro, 14-6. And then some quick Class A scores for you before we send it back to Matt and Spencer. Pocahontas 21-0. Pocahontas County 21-0 over Richwood. Monroe Central of Ohio leads Magnolia 14-6. And then Tigris Valley leading Clay Battelle 20-15. Moorfield leading Petersburg 27-0. Wheeling Central beating Mann 35-7. Doodridge County beating Ritchie County 14-12. That's an interesting game at Class A. So that does it for your halftime scoreboard update. Again, the game you're listening to and tuned into on TV 10, Martinsburg 21, Hedgesville 0. We'll send it back to Matt and Spencer after a quick break.
Before the invitations and the dress, the flowers, cake, candles, or vows, there was an answer to a question proposed with a ring.
Bechtel Jewelers knows that an important part of your wedding happens before the I-dos. We're a diamond store with an engagement and bridal jewelry selection that's both exciting and accessible.
On the big day, there's everything else, and there's the ring. Make sure you get this one right at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood.
Home Helpers of the Eastern Panhandle, making life easier for you, your family, and especially your loved one who needs care. Locally owned, you can trust their professionally trained staff to provide the best possible care, allowing your loved one to remain where they're happiest, in their home. From a few hours to 24/7 service, they'll work with you to develop a custom plan to best meet your needs, including meal prep, light housekeeping, and transportation. Call 304-433-8000 or visit homehelpershomecare.com/panhandle or visit them on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg. Each office independently owned and operated.
You need to keep your vehicle in good working order, but car and truck repairs can be very costly. Bears Repair in Martinsburg performs all kinds of auto repairs at prices most often well below their competition. Bears Repair offers tune-ups, oil change and lubrication, small and large engine and transmission repair, wheel balancing, front-end alignment, exhaust system replacement, air conditioning checks, auto inspections, and new tires. Stop by for a free estimate at Bears Repair, 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg, phone 262-0208. Bears Repair.
4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states. Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
All right, we welcome you back into Mumau Stadium. We left giving you a little bit of the Martinsburg High Marching Band. Let's pick up a little of the Hedgesville Marching Band as we welcome you back in. It's been an entertaining first half. Martinsburg with the 3-touchdown lead at 21-0, but this game a lot closer than many may have expected when you consider the matchup. And then Martinsburg has won 24 straight in this series. And in those games, Spencer, get this, the scoring has been 1,333 points to 116, or an average score over 24 games of 56-5. And Martinsburg has shut out Hedgesville in 9 of the last 12 meetings that they have had and put 60 or more points on the board 6 consecutive years and 9 of the last 10 meetings between the two teams. So a 21-0 score. I think Coach Faircloth and his staff have to be very pleased with what they've been able to do, controlling the tempo, able to run more plays than Martinsburg, but you got to at some point find a way to score.
Yeah, and I think defensively, obviously, happy what they're doing. But I don't necessarily know offensively that he's happy what they're doing. I think that's where they need to make their big improvement coming out, their big switch coming out in this second half.
Well, let's take a look at the first half numbers brought to you by Dobson and Associates PLLC, providing all your back office needs, including accounting, payroll, and human resources. They want to be your back office. Give them a call at 304-264-0437 or stop by 217 West Burke Street in Martinsburg. All right, let's begin with Hedgesville. We had them running 27 plays in the first half for 107 yards, 99 rushing yards, and 8 passing yards. They had 4 possessions, all resulting in a turnover on downs, failing to convert with just 2 yards on a 4th and 3, minus 3 yards on a 4th and 2, plus 8 yards, but that's 2 yards short on a 4th and 10. They got a 25-yard run on a fake punt on a 4th and 8, but that drive ultimately ended with an incomplete pass on a 4th down and 13. And, well, Martinsburg taking over after each of those possessions. 3 penalties, 15 yards for Hedgesville in the first half. We had them with 5 first downs. They were 2 of 7 on 3rd down conversion, 2 of 5 on 4th down conversion. Individual numbers, Jackson Ruest, 1 of 4 passing for 8 yards. His lone completion going to Gage Creel. And running the football, 2 carries, 24 yards for Ruest. The ground and pound offense has been led by Nathan Albright, 20 carries, 74 yards in the first half, including a big 36-yard carry. There was 1 carry for 1 yard for Gabe Tost. Now for Martinsburg in the first half, 5 possessions, 3 touchdowns, 1 turnover on downs, and they lost 17 yards on a bad snap at the end of the first half. We had the Dogs with 10 first downs, 4 penalties for 35 yards, and you're looking at the Dogs running 21 plays for 209 yards, 74 rushing, and 135 passing yards. The Dogs 2 of 3 on 3rd down conversions and 0 of 1 on 4th down. Individually, 3 of 6 passing, 36 yards for Ezra Bajent. Bajent did not have a carry in the first half. For Murphy Clement, 3 of 4 passing for 99 yards. Carrying the football, he was 6 carries for 57 yards to lead the ground attack. 3 carries, 11 yards for Xavion Kendall, and then there was a carry for 23 yards for Hudson Clement on a little end around on the very first play from scrimmage. The Dogs ultimately, though, lost 17 yards on that final play on the bad snap at the end of the first half, and so that brings their rushing total down to those 74 rushing yards. Receiving, Jacob Barrick had a catch for 31 yards. It was Cash Gideon a catch for minus 3 yards on a wide receiver screen. A grab for 8 yards and a touchdown for Roman Pearson. He caught that one from Ezra Bajent. 2 grabs for 52 yards for Hudson Clement, and then a grab for 47 yards and a touchdown on a screen pass for Xavion Kendall, and that came from Murphy Clement. So there you go, numbers from the first half, all brought to you by Dobson and Associates PLLC, providing all of your back office needs. That includes accounting, payroll, and human resources. Find out more by calling 304-264-0437. We do have a 2-minute timeout that we need to take. So let's get that break in, and when we come back, we'll get into our second half of action. We are at the intermission with Martinsburg leading Hedgesville 21-0.
Ollie's VIP Northside is the best local spot to catch all of your favorite high school, college, and pro sports, or to hang out with friends. Ollie's has a great beer and cocktail menu, along with a food menu that will blow you away. Ollie's offers multiple TVs to watch the game of your choice from anywhere at the bar, or their outdoor patio with cornhole and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP Northside. We'll see you for the game.
The right attorney can make all the difference in the outcome of your case.
I called Sutton and Janelle, the best lawyers you could ask for.
Sutton and Janelle Attorneys at Law. 70 years of collective legal experience, family law, criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, and mediation.
Sutton and Janelle got the most favorable outcome I could have expected.
Visit Sutton and Janelle's new historic location, 224 West King Street in Martinsburg. Online at suttonandjanelle.com. Sutton and Janelle Attorneys at Law. They value your rights and are passionate about your success.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
Whether you're heading to a high school, college, or professional football game, Johnny's has all your tailgating go-tos. Delicious wings, meatballs, shrimp, burgers, and dogs. Plus, Johnny's has everything you need to serve it all up. Party trays, utensils, plates, cups, and more. Stop by either of our two great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 South in Chambersburg.
Moomaw Stadium, let's check in with Colin down on the sideline.
Thank you, Spencer and Matt. I'm down here with Hedgesville head coach, Coach Faircloth, down 21-0 right now. What'd you tell your team going in at the half?
Keep competing. I mean, we know we're playing the best team in the state, and last week I think against Morgantown really prepared us for this, and keep competing. And right now we're playing without our kickers, so I mean, if our kickers are here, we got at least 3 field goals out of it inside the 30. So for us, just keep competing and keep playing hard, and keep positive plays all night. We got 2 negative plays right now. As long as we can keep going, I think we'll be okay.
What are some of those positive things that you've seen from your team?
3 yards pop on a really good defense, and for us, that's a plus for us. And coming from last year to where we scored 10 points as a team all year, and right now, I mean, we're executing, and if we're getting inside that 30 and that 20, if we had our kickers, we're putting points on the board for us.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Back up to you guys.
Colin, thank you very much. And Spencer, he makes a great point. Martinsburg came in as a defense giving up about 98.75, rounded up and say 99 rushing yards per game through the first 4 games. And that's exactly what Hedgesville has in the first half, 99 rushing yards.
Yeah, and I think that's something you can build off. And, talking to Faircloth all season, he just mentioned Morgantown preparing them for this game. That's all you can ask for, is to prepare a team to make you play up a little bit more when you're playing, as he said, the best team in the state.
Our second half kick being brought to you by Bears Repair, 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. For all of your automotive repair needs, call the certified mechanics at Bears Repair, 304-262-0208. Don't forget, Hedgesville gets the football to get this second half started, as Martinsburg got it to open the game. So let's see if the Eagles can continue to pick up where they left off with a little bit of momentum, a little bit of ability to move that football. But again, got to find a way to get points at the end. Did not realize that the regular kicker did not get that information from Coach Faircloth going in, but their regular kicker not available. Looking down at the roster, Josh Kelbaugh is listed as a kicker punter as a senior. So I'm not sure if that's who he is speaking of, but either way,
that hurts.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. When you got a chance to try to put points on the board and you've got to go for it in those 4th down situations, it can be challenging. Brent Terwilliger getting ready to kick it off. A late entrant onto the field is Savion Kendall. And now he's going to race to that far side and get ready to go. Here we are, the kick, and it is popped up along that far side, and it's going to hit the ground. Football is free. I think Martinsburg got it. And it looks like they do. Not sure who came out of there with the football. I did not see, but one of the up men went to block while a guy behind him came up to try to make the catch on the football. Could not make that catch. It was free, and Martinsburg recovers. Wow.
And something you may have been able to hear faintly in the background from our crowd mic is Coach Faircloth. Not happy at all. Just got to get your hands on the ball and hold it in, fall down.
1st and 10 from the 43 of Hedgesville. Screen pass far side, caught by the receiver. Tries to stay in bounds, but was pushed out. See where they'll spot him. I believe that's Cash Gideon on that reception. Still looking along that. Yep, that is Cash Gideon with the reception. But hang on, I think we have a penalty marker down over there as well.
The flag on the play.
So there was a flag on the play and did not get the indication as the football's coming back to that 49-yard line. So it looks like about 2 yards in, there must have been some type of a hold. And so from the 49-yard line of Hedgesville, first down, and we call it about 18. Back to throw, Ezra Bajan deep along the near side. Hudson Clement makes the grab inside the 30-yard line and then forced out of bounds by the defensive back, Gage Creel, inside the 25. Mark him down at the 22-yard line.
And I think if you're Gage Creel right there, if you were tracking the ball better, I think he could have made a play on that ball because it was thrown really behind the receiver.
Yeah, one of those that is very tough to handle as a defensive back when you don't know it's coming and you end up having to stop, and then the receiver who does see that coming able to take advantage of the opportunity. 1st and 10 after the 27-yard pass completion. Receiver screen far side, dropped by Cash Gideon. Not sure if someone got a hand in there or not. Knifing over quickly was Kyle Whaley, a junior. And the linebacker, I don't know if he got a hand on it or just distracted Cash Gideon, but it's incomplete. So 2nd down and 10 coming from the 22-yard line in Eagle territory. Martinsburg moving from left to right. So Hedgesville technically with their first turnover on that opening kick of the second half, and Martinsburg trying to take advantage. Bajan throwing far side. Barrick at the goal line, leaps up, makes the grab. He's in for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown.
Yeah, great job there to be able to find the ball, track it, hold it, keep it in your hands as you're going to the ground, and I think that's got to be a candidate for the Kelly's All-State Good Hands catch of the game.
He did a very nice job to go up, grab that one at its peak, pull it into his chest with the defender closing in on him, and held on to it for the score. In Martinsburg, turning that turnover on the popped-up kick, dropped by Hedgesville, grabbed by the Bulldogs, quickly into points. Took them only 30 seconds to do just that. Extra point attempt, it looks like, will be coming. Snap is back. That muddle huddle placement and kick, and it is up and through. Let's take the break with 11:27 to play in quarter number 3, and Martinsburg now in front 28-0.
Mark your calendar for October 15th, 16th, and 17th and plan to join us for the 42nd Annual Mountain State Apple Harvest Festival. Modified from its traditional schedule, this year's Apple Harvest Festival will feature many exciting family-friendly outdoor events for the entire community to enjoy. The Mountain State Apple Harvest Festival, sponsored by BCT, invites you to like us on Facebook and follow along for all the details of this year's 3-day event. MSAHF.com.
Hi, my name's Corey, and I'm here at Orsini's in beautiful Martinsburg, West Virginia. We no longer specialize in only appliances. We have kitchen design, countertops, cabinets, flooring, and even a new 1,200 square foot sleep studio with brands such as Stearns & Foster, Sealy, and Tempur-Pedic. 304-267-7251, 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg. We price match the big box stores, and we give back to our local community.
Orsini's.com.
We'll give you that scoring drive summary brought to you by 61st District Delegate Jason Barrett, Trusted Leadership Real Solutions, after the recovery of the popped-up or onside kick. 4 plays, 43 yards, took 30 seconds, 22 yards on the touchdown pass. Ezra Bajan going to Jacob Barrick. Martinsburg with a 28-0 lead. And Brent Terwilliger getting ready to kick it off one more time. He approaches, and the kick deep along that far side, and making the over-the-shoulder grab, then dropping it is Albright. He picks it back up, spins away from a couple of tacklers, and then gets snowed under at about the 17-yard line. Nice play by Nathan Albright to go back and make that over-the-shoulder catch. Well, initially it kind of went through his hands, bounced off the natural grass. He scooped it up and was able to at least make something positive out of it. Martinsburg seems to be playing with a bit more of an intensity, if you will, to start this second half from their own 16, 1st and 10 now for Hedgesville. See if they can make some adjustments from halftime and use it to their advantage. Got to find a way to get on the board, do what they did in that first half, maintain possessions, or this one will get out of hand quickly. 28-0 Martinsburg. Snap goes back, and West is going to hand it off. Straight ahead running, breaking through some tackles is Albright. Good, hard running. Works his way out close to the 21, and Nathan Albright picks up 5 yards.
Yeah, and kind of what we mentioned at the beginning of the game was if you get Albright, 3-4 yards a pop, then he can do pretty well. And right there, 5 yards, gives him a second down and 5, a manageable second down.
21 carries, 79 yards unofficially for the senior. He is having himself a night. This will be one he'll talk about 20 years from now against a state championship caliber team in Martinsburg. And as a senior, he's out here running hard, getting it done. Good job by the big guys up front as well. 2nd and 5 from their own 21. Snaps a little low, and by the time West can pick it up and hand it off, going down in the backfield is Albright. And it's all going to depend on where they spot progress, as he got hit and driven backwards. Put it back at the 18-yard line. That's -3, and it brings up 3rd and about 8.
Yeah, that's something that you do not want. You had second and you gained half the yards on first down, and now you go back, lose 3 yards, and now it's a 3rd down and long. If you want to be able to get on the scoreboard, you can't get into 3rd down and longs, especially in your own territory.
Yeah, I've had trouble throwing the football. Just 1 completion in that first half out of 4 pass attempts. This is a run-style offense, not throwing it a lot. West barking out that signal. Almost got Martinsburg to jump. Now takes that snap, hands it off. Penalty marker down as the back goes down as well. Albright being hit in the backfield and stopped at the 15-yard line. Let's wait and see if we get a hold or not.
Not too sure. The offenses are staying out. Well, I guess they don't have a punter.
All right. It is look like an illegal block, and they are going to, Martinsburg is going to decline it, as that will be another loss of 3 back to the 15-yard line. So it's already going to bring up a 4th down and about 11, so no need to take that penalty and try to back them up any further. Put him into a punting situation. Now just 2 of 8 on 3rd down conversions. Remember the last time West ran for it. Don't expect that in this situation. He takes the snap, gets it out of there. High floating kick. Hudson Clement calls for the fair catch and makes it at the 45. So the punt covers 30 yards, no return, and with 9:34 remaining here in quarter number 3, the Martinsburg lead is 28-0, and the Bulldogs now take over with their second half possession. Our third quarter presented on TV 10 by the Skinner Law Firm, injury and consumer rights lawyers. Phone 304-245-6613 or go to SkinnerFirm.com. Also brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution. They're at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Phone 304-263-3361. From just inside the 45, we'll call it the 44 of Hedgesville on first down. Murphy Clement taking the snap, rolling to his left to the 40, along the hash marks to the 30, inside the 30 to the 25 and 20. Did he stay in bounds on that far sideline? He's racing towards the pylon. Pylon gets knocked over as he crossed the line, but hang on, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds before getting to the end zone.
Either way, I think that's got to be a candidate for the Orsini's electrifying play of the game.
Man, he is good.
He is electrifying.
And look at those plays that he made last week, and look at a play like this one. Where do they put it? Oh, they did give him the touchdown at the end, it looks like. So I was waiting and didn't quite get the signal, but apparently he did not step out of bounds. So that is a 44-yard TD scamper. So the extra point attempt coming from Brent Terwilliger. There you go. The TD for Murphy Clement, and that'll be his 9th rushing touchdown on the season. There's the snap back, and Hudson Clement going to throw over the middle. That ball may have been tipped. He was trying to get that one to Cam Shallis, who had lined up as kind of a slot off to the side in that muddle huddle. 2-point conversion fails, but with 9 minutes, 23 seconds remaining in quarter number 3, we take a break with Martinsburg now leading 34-0.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
WVU Medicine East Heart and Vascular Institute has expanded and is now accepting new patients. With the recruitment of new board-certified cardiologists and interventional cardiologists, as well as the addition of 2 new offices, the WVU Medicine East Heart and Vascular Institute team can provide the best in heart care to our region. For more info on the cardiology services provided nearby in Martinsburg, Winchester, and now in Hagerstown and Shepherdstown, go to our website at mywvuheart.com.
Hunter Turner back deep for the Eagles.
We'll give you the scoring drive summary in a moment. First, Terwilliger approaches. And the kick is away. Popped up along that far side. And catching that one with a knee on the ground. On the far side of the field, Gage Creel, we believe. Or is that Jackson Ruest?
Made by Lutterock.
Oh, and they called out a different number.
That was Justin Lutter.
No. That was a 9, and either a 9 or an 8, and I think that was actually Ruest who was out there and pulled that one in because he's walked right across the field here to the near sideline, getting the play call. All right, for the Bulldogs, it was one play, 44-yard drive, took just 11 seconds, 44 yards on the run for Murphy Clement. The Dogs now lead 34-0 as the 2-point conversion attempt failed. 9:23 to play quarter number 3, 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. Hedgesville football, second possession of this second half. Snap goes back, and the handoff goes to Albright. Met in the hole and taken down quickly. Getting in there that time was the Bulldogs' E.J. Hendricks, making that stop for what looks to be a short loss.
No gain on the play.
Again, Albright getting a ton of carries, 24, but loses a yard, so down to 72 yards. 2nd and 11 coming from their own 36.
I think back to that special teams play on the kickoff return. Not really a return, but on kickoff right there. Great hands, great ability to hold the ball, kneel down, and you don't have to cause a turnover.
On 2nd and 11 from their own 36, moving from right to left. Trip receivers head out to this wide side left. Single receiver to the right. Ruest wants to throw, but sacked on the play. A couple of Bulldogs getting in there. Cash getting in one of those, along with Kai Fagan. Wow, so Fagan and Gideon probably going to get credit for a half a sack each as Ruest goes down in the backfield. Absolutely no time to throw the football. It goes back to the 26, so that is -10, and will make it a 3rd down and 21. Not a spot that Hedgesville and head coach Matt Faircloth want to be in. 3rd and 21. They'll break the huddle with 12 seconds on the play clock, under 8 minutes on the game clock in this 3rd quarter. 3 receivers out here to the left. There's the snap back. Ouch. The handoff to Albright met as soon as he took that handoff. Fagan is in there again. Christian Slack in there as well. And E.J. Hendricks was in the backfield helping to force that play up the middle. And that stop will come back at the 23, -3 more.
Definitely something that the coaching staff and Coach Sherman probably mentioned during halftime was don't give up the run anymore. Stuff all the holes. Find a way to get to the backfield.
Boy, they have done just that. And now Ruest's punt gets blocked. The ball is loose inside the 10-yard line. Eventually, Fagan picks it up. He gets to the goal line, and he's in for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown. They score on special teams on the blocked punt.
And, I think that's just it's a byproduct of not having kickers and punters this week for Hedgesville, is you're having to have your quarterback punt the ball. And I'm going to presume he doesn't usually punt the ball.
We do have a penalty marker down.
Called against the Eagles.
Personal foul, face mask, trying to bring him down as Fagan picked up that ball and was trying to get into the end zone. We'll call the return roughly 5 yards by the time he finally picked it up. And Martinsburg will bring the kick unit on, again lining up in that what you might call muddle huddle type of deal where they got 3 guys on each side of the field out by the numbers, and then 3 guys in the middle of the field, a center and 2 blocking guards. The kicker and holder right behind those guys up the middle. Snap is back. Hudson Clement throwing far side. Overshoots his intended target on a receiver screen to Eric King, and the 2-point conversion fails. Let's take the break. 7:06 remaining. Quarter number 3. Martinsburg now in front 40-0.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg has a brand new list of daily specials. Monday, stop on in for burger night or enjoy a nice juicy steak every Tuesday and Wednesday. The Palace Lounge also offers freshly steamed shrimp Thursdays and chef specials every Friday and Saturday. Sunday is all-day breakfast, and there are drink specials daily too. So come enjoy the Palace Lounge. You can find them on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
Now the face mask penalty marked off on the kickoff. And Terwilliger will set it at the 45-yard line in Hedgesville territory. So that was plus 15. Now let's see if Martinsburg will again try an onside kick. So 4 penalties, 30 yards now on Hedgesville. Terwilliger kicking from the Eagle 45 as a set up in the middle of the field, and he's going to bounce it along the near side. Grabbed by one of the guys along that front line. That's Andy Darby, a sophomore, who pulls it in while kind of moving backwards, falls immediately to the ground, and it looks like Hedgesville will have it at their own 29-yard line. 1st and 10. The Martinsburg score, a blocked punt. Didn't see who got the block, but we know that it was scooped up by Kai Fagan. And he picked it up somewhere around that 5-yard line or so and was able to take it in for the score. 2-point conversion fails, and Martinsburg has a 40-0 lead. 7:06 to play in the third. They had 21 points at the half. They've already had 3 touchdowns in the second half.
Yeah, that kind of goes back to what Sherman said at Colin, and that was the fact that they're playing down in the first half, it felt like to him.
Handoff going to Nathan Albright on 1st down and 10. Met in the backfield. He manages to get forward for a 1-yard gain. 70 yards on 26 carries for Nathan Albright. From their own 30, a 2nd down and 9 coming. It looks like we'll have the running clock in quarter number 4. With Martinsburg now out in front 40-0. You're Hedgesville again. You're trying to take as much time off that clock as you can. So you stay in that huddle, let that play clock wind down, limit those possessions and opportunities for Martinsburg, and hopefully you can break a big play and hang on to that football and find a way to get into that end zone. 2nd down and 9. Snap goes directly to Albright, who runs right into the back of his line and bounces forward for a gain of 1, maybe.
The Eagles.
So Albright picks up now close to that 32-yard coming. Hedgesville 2 of 9 on those 3rd down conversions so far on the night.
So going back and reviewing the video, I don't think it was blocked. The ball just went into the back of his own man. So you didn't see a player because it hit.
So there you go. Again, it seems more and more lining up with the close to the line of scrimmage. Snap going back, and once again, it is Nathan Albright on the carry on a 3rd and 7 from their own 32. Albright running to his right. Gets maybe a yard out to the 33, but that is it. Martinsburg again able to shut down that ground. Unit's going to have to come on.
4th down.
3rd down conversions so far. Will it be Ruest again doing the punting? Yep, he will make his way out there. Martinsburg looking to make it 25 straight wins in this series. Continue the streak for another year. Hedgesville's not beaten Martinsburg since that 97 season. Snap and side, bouncing inside the 40 and will roll down to the 30-yard line by Justin Lutterat. So that punt will cover about 37 yards with no return. And with 4:29 to play in quarter number 3, that Bulldog offense will get out onto the field for a 3rd time in this quarter. They scored possession and needed just 1 play to score the last time they had it.
Your head coach, Matt Faircloth, going into the rest, have to tell your defense, challenge themselves. They're playing one of the best teams in the state, and all they can do is kind of play their game. They're already down and out of this game.
As Rabajan tries a screen pass to hit his back out of the backfield as Xavier Kendall in the flat on the left. Out in front of him. He couldn't hang on to it. Kendall drops it. 2nd down and 10 coming after the incompletion. 6 of 11 for 87 yards. A couple of touchdowns for Ezra Bajent. Kind of switching every other possession the quarterbacks have in this one for Martinsburg. More so than what we've seen in the first couple of games. There is the snap back and the handoff. Xavier Kendall off the left side of the line, quickly into the linebacking core, heads to the far side, numbers out beyond the midfield stripe into Hedgesville territory, finally pushed out of bounds inside the 40, mark him at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, and every single game it feels like Xavier Kendall is just feeling more and more comfortable in the backfield. I've talked about this several times, and I think this is a byproduct right here, a huge gain.
Yeah, 31 yards. That lifts him up to 42 rushing yards in this one on 4 carries. The Dogs' 14th first down unofficially from the 39-yard line of Hedgesville. On 1st and 10, Bajent getting it to Xavier Kendall in the flat on the left, and the running back out of the backfield, avoiding the first tackle, but cannot get away from the next guy. So Bajent to Kendall, going to pick up just a couple of yards.
About 2 on the play.
Really not even that. And we'll give him the 37. Call it a 2-yard gain. Why not? 2nd and 8 coming. Snap goes back, and Bajent again looking to that far side. Now looking to the near side. Now the pocket beginning to collapse. He's going to move a little to his left, move back to his right, dive forward, and go down back at the original line of scrimmage as he got to the 39-yard line. So that'll be a loss of 2.
Backfield by Milton.
That'll be a sack, and yeah, Milton going to get credit for that one.
And I think, obviously, I just mentioned for Hedgesville, they just do anything to be positive plays, and they'll take the positives out of a game like this.
That's Drew Milton. You talked to him.
I did talk to him.
In the pregame. First official carry for Bajent on that sack, and now from the 39 of Hedgesville, 3rd down and 10 yards to go for a first. Ezra Bajent taking the snap, looking far side, letting it go. Pass knocked away. Intended for Roman Pearson. Good defense out there. As the DB, Xavier Kirk, just a freshman, able to step in and knock it away.
Yeah, that's a play that a junior-senior would make.
4th down.
Very nicely done. So the Dogs 2 of 4 now on 3rd down conversions, keeping the offense out there, facing the 4th down and 10 from the 39 of Hedgesville. Dogs in that first half 0 for 1 on 4th downs. Down to 2:55 on a stopped clock in this third quarter. 40-0 Martinsburg in command in this one. Ready to pick up win number 66 in their last 67 games. On 4th down, Bajent has it from the shotgun. Lofts it along the far side. Leaping into the air, pulling that one in as Barrick gets pushed out of bounds by Lutterot, the defensive back. But that will be good for a first down as Barrick goes out of bounds just inside the 25 at the 24. 15 yards on the game.
Yeah, Barrick continues to make great plays so far this season. As we've gone deeper into the season, he seems to be making a lot more plays.
From that 24 on a first down and 10. Bajent has it, throwing far side, receiver screen. Cash getting it with the catch, breaks through a tackle down to that 10-yard line, spinning as he's hit and gets taken down before he could get to the 5.
Bajent's pass complete to Gideon.
So Cash Gideon with the reception.
You brought this up a couple of minutes ago. Seeing Bajent on the drive, kind of in the late in the third quarter, I feel like it's not something that we've typically seen this year.
And we do have a Bulldog down at the end of that play. So we do have a brief timeout. I'm looking to see who that player is. If it's Gideon, the receiver, or no, I'm sorry, that's a Hedgesville player that is down. My apologies. As I get the binoculars out, I can tell a Hedgesville player down but cannot get the number. We'll check on that as we get the opportunity. A reminder, third quarter presented on TV 10 by the Skinner Law Firm, injury and consumer rights lawyers. You can find them online at skinnerfirm.com or phone 304-245-6613. Also presented by Smallwood Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive, phone 304-263-3361. I believe that's Nathan Albright. Is that a 6? Front of the jersey kind of bunched up just a little bit as he comes off to the side of the field. And if that's Albright, boy,
it's a big loss.
Yeah, well, he's got to be cramping up. I'm sure he has been working hard here tonight. First down, goal to go. Football at the 7-yard line of Hedgesville. Action back underway. Xavier Kendall behind the quarterback and beside him to the right. There's the snap back handoff. Kendall off that right side of the line. He is down inside the 5, and it looks like they'll mark him at about the 3-yard line.
Harper on the stop.
So Kendall going to pick up, we'll call it 4. 9th play of the possession coming, second down and goal to go. Under 2 minutes to play in this third quarter. From the 3-yard line, snap goes back. Handoff Kendall off the right side, met in the hole, breaks through the tackle into the end zone. It's a Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown.
Great job by Kendall right there to find that hole and bust right through it for a touchdown, and that'll put Martinsburg up.
Kendall on the carry.
Pending the extra point, 46-0. Well, the score's not. Did they give him the?
Yeah, the official on the near side.
Yeah, there it is.
Put both hands up.
Finally put up on the score.
I mean, we've had that earlier.
Yeah.
That first touchdown of the second half. I didn't see the indication and thought an official was marking on the sideline. Perhaps he had stepped out. In this case, we got an official on the near side right at the goal line to give us the indication. Extra point attempt up, and Terwilliger puts it through. We take a break with 1:44 to play in the third, and Martinsburg now leading 47-0.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you Visit us at whmsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Here we go as Brent Terwilliger gets ready with the ensuing kickoff after the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown. He approaches, sends it deep, headed along that far side and into the end zone, and that will be the automatic touchback. Hedgesville will yard line. Scoring drive summary brought to you by 61st District Delegations. It took the Bulldogs 2 minutes 49 plays with a 3-yard touchdown run, rushing touchdown of the season. 144. Hedgesville taking over at the option of this second half. The one came off the back of a personal protector picked up by Kai Fagan, who took it in for a Bulldog score. So Martinsburg has had 3 offensive touchdowns and a special teams touchdown so far in this second half. Jackson Rue West out there, and so too is Nathan Albright. He's to the right of the quarterback. Again, those 2 big fullbacks or H-backs out in front of him. Handoff going to Albright, straight ahead, power-type football. And the O-line able to push Martinsburg back a little bit and pick up about 3 yards. Boy, again, Albright, I got him 29 carries now. This is old school football right here where a guy gets touches like that.
And it's good as if that was him indeed that was hurt. It's good to see him back on the field.
2nd and 7 after the 3-yard pickup out to the 23. Clock down to 1:13 and counting. 20 on that play clock. Hedgesville going to drop their second straight. They'll fall to 2-3. Next up, they're at Spring Mills next week. That should be a good matchup between a couple of young football teams. Then comes a matchup here at home against Musselman before Princeton comes to town. Handoff again to Albright. Gets a little opening off that right side of the line, but it closes fast as Hudson Clement, the 6'2 senior, comes in to knock him sideways and eventually take him down. Albright will get credit out to that 26. Boy, it looked like it was going to be more, and he gets 3 yards.
Yeah. I felt like that all night, and it just seems like when he goes off the edge, there's a lot more, but it's because he's in the backfield.
After that matchup against Musselman, Princeton will come to town. Princeton off to a good start to the year. Then comes a bye week before games at Jefferson and at Hampshire to close out the Eagle season. On 3rd down and 4 coming.
One more play they'll have to run.
They will get the snap back and the handoff again to the tailback. Penalty marker down as Albright gets out to about the 29-yard line. That would be a gain of 3, but let's check the penalty, see whether Martinsburg takes it or not.
Gideon on the stop for the Bulldogs.
Cash Gideon there to help make the tackle. We hear the announcement being made. So in that case, we'll have a chop block as the call on Hedgesville. So Martinsburg will go ahead and take that penalty. Looks like it's going to get marked off from the 25-yard line. And they're going to move the ball all the way back inside the 15 to what we'll call the 13-yard line. So that occurred pretty much in the backfield. They'll set the football down. The final seconds tick off the 3rd quarter clock. We're heading to quarter number 4, a running clock in the 4th quarter as Martinsburg leads Hedgesville 47-0.
Bulldogs 40.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
We welcome you back to Moomaw Stadium along with Spencer Dupuy. I'm Matt Miller, John Alderton, Donald Kinney, Colin McLaughlin running cameras. Donna Schaffner, our on-site producer, Nick Verzolini, our engineer, back at the studio. Quarter number 4 presented on TV 10 by Sutton & Janelle, attorney at law, a full-service law firm helping individuals, families, and businesses with all their legal needs at 224 West King Street in Martinsburg, online at suttonandjanelle.com. Also, Chris Ross and Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams, buying or selling a home. Call chrisross.com or call Chris Ross at 304-579-7349. All right, so the ball's all the way back inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line, so it is a third down, 16, 17 yards to go for a first for Hedgesville. And we've got time taken. Did we get another sideline warning against Hedgesville? If we did, then that will back them up 5 more yards because we've already had the first one, which is a warning.
It looks like it, but Coach Faircloth is definitely trying to understand what the ruling is there. He's arguing with the refs.
How that called against the Eagles.
Yeah, they're going to move them back. They mentioned unsportsmanlike, but I don't know that was a call, though they do move it all the way back to the 6-yard line.
The 6-yard line.
Wow. And they got to get a first down all the way out at the 30. So 24 yards to go for a first, and with the football along the near side, I believe that's Faircloth who was able to catch that pass. Yep, it was out in the flat on this right side, caught by the big tight end, but Faircloth immediately hit and taken down. In fact, he's going to lose a couple of yards back to the 4-yard line. So Ruwest pass is complete, but -2. First completion of the second half, just the second of the game now. 2 of 5 passing for Ruwest. He's thrown for 6 yards. That passing game not a big part of what they do, and now you got to imagine Ruwest is going to have to try to punt this football away from deep in his own end zone.
I would not want to be him right now.
Certainly not going to be easy, that's for sure. They do set the football back more at the 5-yard line, not inside the 5 at the 4. So we'll call that a loss more of 1 yard. Now we're going to get a timeout being taken. We are going to go ahead and keep it here. We talked about what was next for the Hedgesville Eagles. How about for the Martinsburg Bulldogs? It'll be the Washington Patriots who will come to Coburn Field next Friday night. Just the second home game of the season so far for the Dogs, who only have 4 home games. After that, it will be a Saturday afternoon game on the 9th of October at Riverside, Ohio. That is up just outside of Cleveland. And then back home for Spring Mills on the 15th, and the big matchup with Jefferson on October 22nd. Both of those at Coburn Field before the Dogs close out the regular season on the 29th of October, and that is at Spring Valley. So some tough matchups coming for Martinsburg. Not sure what to expect, facing a brand new opponent in Riverside out of Ohio. Jefferson right now undefeated and rolling to a win over North Hagerstown tonight. And then Spring Valley, who's got a lead in their matchup tonight against South Charleston.
Yeah, and I got an update on Washington. They're playing Parkview. That's in the county that I went to school in. They're winning slightly, 15-12 at the end of the third quarter. There was no update on that on the Metro News, so I'm not too certain if Nick was able to get that at halftime.
All right, let's see what happens as Hedgesville has the football just to get it out of there. Ruwest does punt from the end zone. It bounces at about the 30-yard line. Grabbed at the 36 by Hudson Clement. Clement trying to find some running room to the right. Does down inside the 20. Late penalty marker down as Hudson Clement gets all the way to the far sideline and in for what would look to be a score, but hang on. It looks like this one is coming back as there's a penalty marker down all the way back at the 34-yard line.
The thing about that penalty, if it's calling the penalty in which that I just saw, if that's what they're calling, that didn't need to happen. He was already past him. He just laid him out from the back.
There you go. It's a personal foul. They're calling a targeting type of a hit. At least that seemed to be the indication. illegal blindside block. That's the indication.
That sounds more like it from what I just saw. And there's obviously no need for that. You don't need that in a game, in this kind of game anymore. But he was already well past him, so
right,
that shouldn't have happened.
No, absolutely unnecessary, and it ends up taking points off the board. We do have the clock stopped as the change of possession, and we have an Eagle player out of bounds along that far sideline who seems to be suffering from a cramp. So let's hope that is all that is. That punt, by the way, covering about 31 yards with the return before the penalty gets marked off. And for Martinsburg, with that 15-yard penalty, 6 penalties for 60 yards unofficially on the night for them. The injured players still down on that far sideline. They are really stretching out the back of that leg. See what we can do to check in with Colin down on the sideline and get an idea of what it's like down there, Colin. It doesn't seem like it would be the type of night for guys to cramp. What's it like down there as far as the temperature and maybe even the humidity levels, that sort of thing?
Thank you, guys. It's definitely getting colder as the night goes on down here on the sideline, and frustration definitely continues to grow as well, that you can see down here. Hedgesville just wants their players protected as best as they can, and they feel like right now the referees are not doing the best job to keep that. So we'll see what happens with the rest of the game. Back up to you guys.
That's definitely something that in a game like this, well out of it, 47-0, big blowout. You don't want your players to get hurt if you're Hedgesville. No. The safety of the game, the integrity and safety of the game is what's head coach Faircloth is really not happy about.
Richie Harper, the injured player for Hedgesville, making his way to the near sideline down through the end zone to our left as he hobbles off. Again, looked like a cramping situation for him. So the Bulldogs will take over at the 49-yard line in Hedgesville territory. Ezra Bajent will be in at quarterback, and that looks to be Eric King who will line up beside of him as the tailback. So the big fella may get a few carries. There goes that snap back, and it is King straight up the middle into the secondary, and grab from behind inside the 30, taken down close to the 27-yard line. There you go.
Wow.
Stopped by Creel.
So Eric King with the big gain right up the middle.
I did not realize he was even listed as a running back, to be honest.
Big guy carrying that football.
Big guy on the D-line usually.
Mark it down to about that 27-yard line where it's 1st down and 10. Give again is to King. Straight ahead running. Mark him to the 21, so that's a gain of 6.
It looks like he's got a little bit of speed on him, too.
22 yards on one carry, 6 yards on the next carry. 2nd and 4.
Stopped by Milton.
9:03 and counting in this one. Bajent taking the snap again, giving to King. I mean, it's just straight ahead running. King able to break a tackle and then gets tripped up. Looks like his progress will be down to the 16-yard line. So that's 5 yards and yet another Bulldog first down. I got that as their 18th. So 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. Give again to King. Straight ahead. Stood up, but bulls his way forward inside the 15 to the 14 for a hard-fought 2 yards.
Tackled by a host of Eagles.
Yeah, and, change of pace here. I like the change of pace here from Martinsburg. Kind of just trying to let this clock wind down.
King's having fun carrying the football. 6'1", 210, junior running back and D lineman. Snap is back. King again takes that handoff. Ran into a Hedgesville player. Bounced off of it to his right. Heads to the far side pylon. He's in for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown.
Touchdown Bulldog.
He ran right into the back of Jake Young, the freshman, and then bounced off of Young, went to his right, and went in for the score.
Yeah, I mean, he probably this year didn't think he was going to score in a game on the offensive side of the ball, and he did tonight.
King goes in with a 14-yard score. 4 possessions in the second half for the Bulldog offense, 4 touchdowns. Took them just 5 plays to cover the 49 yards. 2 minutes and 12 seconds. The scoring drive summary brought to you by 61st District Delegate Jason Barrett, Trusted Leadership, Real Solutions. Dogs get a late player on for the PAT. Snap placement, it's up and it's good. Tell you what, Brent Terwilliger doing it, man. Has not missed a PAT yet this season. Score 54-0 Martinsburg over Hedgesville, back in 60.
This is Ben Copenhaver, your local alarm professional at Dynamark Atlantic Security. Did you know that home break-ins are 6% more likely during the day? That's right. The bad guys know when you're away, and they are smarter than you think. Dynamark Atlantic Security has the security solutions for you. Don't commit the error when the game is on the line. Phone me today at 304-671-2158 to learn how to play good defense against the bad guys. Dynamark Atlantic Security. Call today at 304-671-2158.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
We welcome you back in to Moomaw Stadium, where the Martinsburg Bulldogs lead the Hedgesville Eagles by a 54-0 score. Dogs looking to go to 5-0 on the season. Ball's on the 40 along the near side, hash mark directly in front of us, kicking from right to left. Terwilliger gets away, a nice deep kick, running along the near side numbers. It's taken at the 5-yard line. Return man racing back towards the middle of the field. That's Albright. Gets to the 20, hit, spun, taken down. Mark him at the 24-yard line.
Did a lot of work on that kick return.
24-yard line.
So first down and 10 coming as the clock continues to wind. 54-0, that lead for the Bulldogs. Dogs continue to push their scoring up. Came in averaging 44 a contest. And once again, the light goes out in the press box.
I don't get it. Just burn out and not decide to come back on, please, or stay on.
Jackson Ruest comes from the sideline into the huddle as Hedgesville comes to the line of scrimmage. So Martinsburg getting a few different guys in there. See Jimmy Harden at linebacker. Saron Bryant out there as well as a linebacker. Handoff going to the tailback, and that is Albright on the carry. Moving to his right, able to get out to the 30-yard line for a pickup of 6. I got 31 carries now for 85 yards for the senior. And you'd love to see Nathan Albright reach 100 yards in this one. You really would.
And maybe even reach the end zone.
Second down and 4 coming with a football. Actually out to the 31. Mark him closer to 7 yards on that one. Call it a second and a long 3. Snap goes back. Ruest hands it off. Albright again with the carry.
Albright on the carry.
He's to the 34-yard line, so 3 more yards. And he should have the first down.
By Pearson.
Just short.
No way.
They have third down on the thing.
They do, but I'm surprised. This football was pretty much right on the 24-yard line, and it's now on the 34-yard line. That seems to me to be 10 yards. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. So third down, you have to call it inches, I guess. New tailback out there. Snap goes back. Handoff to that tailback. He breaks it. How do you like that? Kyle Whaley. He's to the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, and into the end zone for the Hedgesville Eagle touchdown. The junior with the 66-yard TD run.
And rightfully so is this Hedgesville sideline celebrating. Anything you can do to better yourself as a team in this second half where the game is way out of hand. Get it in the end zone. That's going to build your confidence going forward.
Yep, great job of blocking. He burst through a hole and then was able to outrun the Bulldogs until getting to the goal line. He was being hit as he was going in for the score. 76-yard drive. Took him just 3 plays. They'll try for that 2-point conversion, and nothing doing as Martinsburg shuts it down. 5:11 to play in this one. We'll take a 60-second break with the Martinsburg lead now at 54-6.
Bulldogs 54, Eagles 6.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Service of 61st District Delegate Jason Barrett, Trusted Leadership Real Solutions, 3 plays, 76 yards, 2 minutes and 19 seconds, 66 yards on the TD run for Kyle Whaley. Now the ensuing kickoff. Rue West will do it from the 42 our left. Clock already running with the running clock in this 4th quarter. There is the kick. It's an onside kick along the near side. Coming up to get it. Losing it momentarily and then grabbing it while down on the ground. Here's the Bulldog running back, Xavion Kendall. Hedgesville came close to getting to that one, but it looks like Martinsburg will have it. They will, as Kendall was able to get on the football, and the Dogs from their own 40 will have first down and 10. See who comes out for Martinsburg. It is Ezra Bajent. Zion Grantham, 5'6", 140-pound junior, is now out there at running back. So Rod Musgrove was in, but he now heads to the far sideline as Jay Lardy, a 5'6", 155-pound sophomore, checks in at wide receiver. Zion Grantham to the right side of the quarterback. There is the snap and the pitch, and Grantham looking for some running room to his right and gets tripped up on the play after a gain of a couple and a very late flag coming in at the end of the play, and it's a hold against Martinsburg. So -10 on the hold. Going to be unofficially the 7th penalty for 70 yards against the Dogs. Back them up to the 30-yard line where it becomes a first down and 20, as that one was called pretty much right at the line of scrimmage. I wouldn't expect any more scoring unless the Dogs break a big one with 3:34 and counting on that running clock. A couple of more runs and the Dogs
that'll do it.
Yeah, can finish up a 5-0 start to the season. Handoff going to Grantham into that linebacking core. Gets taken down beyond the 35 out to the 38-yard line, and that's an 8-yard gain. And the light is back on. I don't know what you're doing over there.
I don't know either.
But it is a mystery.
Very much so. It's also very warm, so it's kind of nice, to be honest. It's a little getting a little cold now.
Only a little.
Well, it's September 24th. 9:15 at night. It's going to start getting cold.
2nd and 11 coming as they actually set it down closer to the 39-yard line. As Rabajan looks at his wristband, barks out the signals, takes that snap, fakes the give, throws over the middle, and that quick slant through the hands of his intended target. Malachi Williams, 5'10", sophomore, the intended target. Clock continues to wind, so it doesn't matter whether the pass was complete or incomplete. Clock still moving as the Dogs now face a 3rd down and 11. Bajent's numbers now 9 of 16 for 121 yards and a couple of touchdown passes. His brother will be in action tomorrow with the Shepherd Rams finally playing a home game against Kutztown. Kickoff at 12 noon, TV 10 coverage at 11:30. Bajent to throw, deep along the near side, and incomplete.
I thought he was going for the guy in the seam.
Yeah, Jay Lardy was on the outside, while the guy in the seam, is that 82? It is. That was Stephon Barclay.
4th down.
So 4th down coming after the incomplete pass. Clock continues to wind. See what Martinsburg will do as they look to that far sideline, getting that play call. You imagine Bajent might just pooch one out of there.
Yeah.
Or at the same time, you may just go ahead and run a play. They're waiting for the play clock to wind down. Hedgesville going to drop to 2 and 3. Martinsburg will go to 5-0 for the Dogs. Again, win number 66 in their last 67 games. Their 55th win in their last 60 on the road. Doesn't matter where they've been playing.
Are these going to take a delay of game?
He just might do it. There it is. Delay of game penalty. The clock doesn't stop because of the penalty. And so they'll back it up 5 yards. And Martinsburg will probably have to take one more. Let's wait and see. Did they set the clock? No, they haven't started the play clock, so that's what they're doing. Our head referee is going to wait until under 25 seconds before starting that play clock. And they won't even have to snap it again. There we go. We're down to 16, 15, 14. Martinsburg's players heading to their sideline. Hedgesville players heading to their sideline. Final in this one from here at Moomaw Stadium tonight. Martinsburg will get the victory over Hedgesville. Their 25th consecutive win in this series by the final of 54-6. We'll come back and tell you all about it as we get into our post-game show after a 2-minute timeout. It's West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
You need to keep your vehicle in good working order, but car and truck repairs can be very costly. Bears Repair in Martinsburg performs all kinds of auto repairs at prices most often well below their competition. Bears Repair offers tune-ups, oil change and lubrication, small and large engine and transmission repair, wheel balancing, front-end alignment, exhaust system replacement, air conditioning checks, auto inspections, and new tires. Stop by for a free estimate at Bears Repair, 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Phone 262-0208. Bears Repair.
Ever try to collect on an insurance claim? Perhaps a homeowner's claim, auto accident, or fire. Insurance companies collect money from you for protection should something bad happen. And when it does, they don't want to pay, or they offer too little. At Mansion Ferretti, we have an attorney who worked defending insurance companies and knows all the dirty tricks they play to deny or lowball your claim. Call us today for help in getting what you really deserve. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
The Mid-Atlantic Group has been serving the area's insurance needs for 40 years. We are an independent insurance agency, therefore we can offer insurance from many insurance companies. Find the right coverage at the right price with Easy Payment Plan. Located at 201 West Martin Street in Martinsburg, the Mid-Atlantic Group is easily accessible from Morgan, Jefferson, and Berkeley County. To set up an appointment with a local insurance professional, give them a call today at 304-267-8989. That's the Mid-Atlantic Group at 201 West Martin Street in Martinsburg. Let them help insure you today. Ollie's VIP Northside is the best local spot to catch all of your favorite high school, college, and pro sports, or to hang out with friends. Ollie's has a great beer and cocktail menu, along with a food menu that will blow you away. Ollie's offers multiple TVs to watch the game of your choice from anywhere at the bar, or their outdoor patio with cornhole and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP Northside. We'll see you for the game.
Welcome you back into Moomaw Stadium. Spencer Dupuis, I'm Matt Miller. McLaughlin running cameras today. We'll be talking with Martinsburg head coach Britt Sherman. Anna Schaffner is our on-site producer. our engineer back at the studio. Well, it was just a 21-9 at the intermission, but in the second half, they really exploded. Spencer recovering an onside or a pooched or popped-up kick, however you want to describe it, to start the second half, and quickly covered 43 yards in 4 plays to make it 28-0. That was a 22-yard scoring strike as Ezra Bajent was able to find Jacob Barrick for the score. Very next possession for Hedgesville, well, 3 and out, and Martinsburg needed just one play for a Murphy Clement 44-yard touchdown run. 34-0, the Dogs lead. Then a block punt or a punt that really came off the back of an up man picked up by the Bulldogs' Kai Fagan. He goes in 40-0 Martinsburg, and a 3-yard touchdown run for Xavion Kendall makes it 47-0 going into quarter number 4. They get a touchdown from Eric King from 14 to make it 54-0, and a 66-yard touchdown run that goes for Kyle Whaley, the only score for Hedgesville. Our final 54-6. Let's send it down to Colin.
Thank you, Matt and Spencer. I'm down here with victorious head coach Sherman. Congrats on the win. How does it feel halfway through the season to be 5-0?
Well, I mean, it's great. Win them all at this point. I thought we came out a lot better in the second half and just played a lot better. Played more Bulldog football.
All righty. I always notice you guys have a great following home on the road. How's it, or what's it mean to you guys to have such a great following with the fan base?
It's great. I mean, I know guys, we have great fans that come to the games. We got great fans watching the games. We're just proud of the community that we're in, and they support us. And, it's been like that for a long time, and I don't expect it to change. So we appreciate Bulldog Nation and keep supporting us.
Big game, especially with the running. What was it like, just offensive line, running backs? Who stood out to you?
I think we were sloppy in the first half. But then in the second half, Kendall did a really good job, caught that screen pass and went. Murphy's still running really well. Ezra's throwing the ball pretty well too. But, Eric King came in there to end and really fought for some hard yards. So that's what he's got to do to get more carries.
All right, thank you, Coach. Again, congrats on the win. Let's send it back up in the press box with Matt and Spencer. Take it away, guys.
Thank you very much, Colin. Great job from down on the sidelines as we hear from Britt Sherman as Martinsburg improves to 5-0. I think, Spencer, as we look back at this one, it plays out about the way that you would have expected. Martinsburg goes on for the lopsided victory. It's just a matter right now of where these two programs are, as Martinsburg fighting for state championships on a regular basis, and this Hedgesville program in a rebuilding mode.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of what all along this whole season, talking to Matt Faircloth every week, from the very beginning when we first started the Sports Mix and we had him, he was the first in-studio guest, and he said coming in this year, he really said that it was about continuing to build, and the aspect of being able to be in the weight room more often, being able to see each other more often, because they couldn't do that last year. So when you're a new head coach, new program, trying to change a culture, and you're not able to see each other anytime besides when you're at practice and when you're at the game, that doesn't really help at all. So this year, it's just a little improvements week by week that can continue to get this program to grow and even make them better going into next season and beyond.
Our postgame brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, with a full lunch and dinner menu and daily specials in a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. We send it to the studio, take a 2-minute break. On the other side, we'll look at some of the numbers from this one. Again, your final. It is Martinsburg over Hedgesville, 54-6.
When you've been in a wreck, you're hurting, you're confused, the insurance company's calling you.
Insurance companies are not your friend. They have a duty to their shareholders, not to you. That's why you need to call us to make sure that you are maximizing what you are entitled to.
We've recovered over $100 million for our clients. Every case is different, no result is guaranteed. But one thing's for sure, we'll treat you like family.
WVU Medicine continues to expand And to meet the needs of our growing community, we're excited to offer high-quality healthcare in the Shepherdstown area at our new medical office facility located on Route 45 West at 60 McLean Way. Services available at the new WVU Medicine Shepherdstown location include primary care, behavioral health and psychiatry, and specialty care. Plus, 2 departments of Berkeley Medical Center are on-site, lab services, and x-ray services available weekdays 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Make an appointment today at wvumedicine.org.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
The right attorney can make all the difference in the outcome of your case.
I called Sutton and Janelle, the best lawyers you could ask for.
Sutton and Janelle Attorneys at Law. 70 years of collective legal experience. Family law, criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, and mediation.
Sutton and Janelle got the most favorable outcome I could have expected.
Visit Sutton and Janelle's new historic location, 224 West King Street in Martinsburg. Online at suttonandjanelle.com. Sutton and Janelle Attorneys at Law. They value your rights and are passionate about your success.
Stadium and our Palace Lounge postgame show. Time for us to take a look at some of these stats from this one. Our postgame stats are brought to you by Dynamark Atlantic Security. They remind you, don't be a statistic. You can protect your family, home, and business with the local alarm professionals at Dynamark Atlantic Security. All right, let's start with the Hedgesville Eagles. We've got them at 42 total plays for 176 yards, 170 on the ground, and just 6 passing. 3 of 12 on third down conversions and 1 of 5 on fourth down conversions. Did not have a first down in the second half, so we'll finish with 5 first downs on the ball game. Penalized 6 times for 45 yards. Hedgesville did have 1 turnover, and that was losing the onside or popped-up kick to start the second half. Hedgesville also had a punt that was officially considered blocked as it came off the back of one of the personal protectors and then recovered by Martinsburg, taken in for a score. The Dogs did get 1 sack in this game. Looking at some individual totals, biggest run of the night, Kyle Whaley. 1 carry, 66 yards, and a touchdown. He's the second leading rusher, though. What a strong night for Nathan Albright. I got him at 32 carries for 89 yards. That senior put this team on his back, followed that big offensive line and those couple of H-backs or fullbacks that were in the backfield and really did a nice job.
You know, he's going to be a candidate for WVU Medicine Player of the Game. Almost all of, 30 carries you said? 32 carries. That's incredible.
42 total offensive plays.
That's incredible.
Yeah, he worked hard in this one, no doubt about it. Jackson Ruest ended up with 3 carries for 14 yards, including that 1 sack, and completed 2 passes out of 5 attempts for a total of 6 yards. For the Martinsburg Bulldogs, we had them at 43 offensive plays, 432 total yards, and very balanced. 212 on the ground, 220 through the air. The Dogs had so the Bulldogs, they go 2 for 5 on third down conversions, 1 of 2 on fourth down conversions. Penalized 8 times for 75 yards. Certainly something they would like to work on. When you look at the individual totals, Ezra Bajent, nice game. 9 of 17, 121 yards, and a couple of touchdown passes. No passing in the second half for Murphy Clement. In the first half, though, went 3 of 4 for 99 yards. He threw for a couple of touchdowns as well. He also had a rushing touchdown as Murphy Clement, leading the ground game, had 7 carries for 101 yards. 5 make it 6 carries for 49 yards and a touchdown for Xavion Kendall. And a pretty nice job late with 5 carries, 39 yards for Eric King. A carry in there for about 9 yards for Zion Grantham. So there you go, just some of the numbers from this one as Martinsburg improves to 5-0. Hedgesville falls to 2-3. Your final, Martinsburg 54 and the Hedgesville Eagles 6. Postgame numbers brought to you by Dynamark Atlantic Security. They remind you, don't be a statistic. You can protect your family, home, and business with the local alarm professionals at Dynamark Atlantic Security. Call our friend Ben Copenhaver at 304-671-2158 to learn more. All right, we'll take another timeout, send it back to the studio. 2-minute break, then we return here for our last time at Moomaw Stadium, where we will come back and give out some awards and look ahead to our next broadcast as we'll put the finishing touches on.
I'm actually ready today.
Yeah, let's do it. The Palace Lounge postgame show. And then don't go away, though. Nick Verzolini has our Extra Point postgame scoreboard show right after that. All right, a 2-minute break, and then we're back. It's West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
You need to keep your vehicle in good working order, but car and truck repairs can be very costly. Bears Repair in Martinsburg performs all kinds of auto repairs at prices most often well below their competition. Bears Repair offers tune-ups, oil change and lubrication, small and large engine and transmission repair, wheel balancing, front-end alignment, exhaust system replacement, air conditioning checks, auto inspections, and new tires. Stop by for a free estimate at Bears Repair, 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg, phone 262-0208. Bears Repair.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Home Helpers of the Eastern Panhandle, making life easier for you, your family, and especially your loved ones that need their care. They are locally owned and searching for smiling faces to hire so that your loved one can stay in their home where they are the happiest. Call 304-433-8000 or visit homehelpershomecare.com/panhandle. Or you can visit them at 3192 Winchester Avenue right here in Martinsburg. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Mark your calendar for October 15th, 16th, and 17th and plan to join us for the 42nd Annual Mountain State Apple Harvest Festival. Modified from its traditional schedule, this year's Apple Harvest Festival will feature many exciting family-friendly outdoor events for the entire community to enjoy. The Mountain State Apple Harvest Festival, sponsored by BCT, invites you to like us on Facebook and follow along for all the details of this year's 3-day event. MSAHF.com.
One final time here at Moomaw Stadium, home of the Hedgesville Eagles. Martinsburg with the win. They're 25th in a row in this series. Lifts the Bulldogs to 119-28 overall against EPAC competition. Musselman, Hedgesville, Jefferson, Washington, Spring Mills. Gives them 90 wins in their last 92 meetings against EPAC teams, and technically 82 in a row if you put all the streaks together. So it's 23 in a row against Musselman, 25 in a row now against Hedgesville, 12 in a row against Jefferson. They're 13-0 against Washington, 9-0 against Spring Mills. The numbers just continue to mount for what this Martinsburg program has been able to do. We can also add with the shutout victory in this one, that is now 10 shutouts in the last 13 meetings between the two teams, but the shutout getting broken tonight, correct, with the late touchdown run. And that was candidate for our electrifying play of the game. So let's start right there. Is that where you're going? No.
I mean, it's a candidate. But we'll start with the electrifying play of the game. Orsini's Home Store, brought to you by Orsini's Home Store, not just an appliance store any longer. 360 Hack, Wilson Way, Martinsburg. I got to give the electrifying play that Clement 44-yard touchdown run with 9:23 left in the third quarter. Kind of was the one that gave way in that third quarter. They had that first one after they took the kickoff return, or the fumbled one, but that was just a great play down the sideline, got everybody riled up on that sideline coming out after the lull of a couple minutes.
So there you go. Big long run, 44 yards. That was his final carry of the night. 101 yards on 7 carries. Pretty good there for Murphy Clement, our electrifying play of the game brought to you by Orsini's. All right? Which one do you want to go to next?
We're going to go to the Good Hands Catch of the Game, brought to you by Kelly's Allstate Insurance. For all your insurance needs, call Gary Kelly at 304-263-4596 or stop by 724 Lakeview Drive in Martinsburg. It's got to be the touchdown pass from Bajent, caught by Barrick for 22 yards with 11:27 left in the third quarter. That was the one off of the onside kick.
Yep, that was a nice throw and catch as Barrick went high into the air, met that ball at its peak, went up with both hands, pulled it in, came down as he was being hit at the goal line, and took it in for the score. Next.
Collision of the game brought to you by Cody's Body Shop at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg, family owned, offering superior customer service and great pricing for a job done by experienced certified technicians. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page. Cody's Auto Body collision of the game came early, 8:30 left in the first quarter when Murphy Clement collided and upended Albright right about the 35-yard line right in front of us.
Yeah, very big hit there, and that is our collision of the game. Now it's time for the player of the game.
I want to give this to Albright, but if he scored a touchdown, I think he would have clinched it. But 32 carries, that's the 1A right there. You got to give some appreciation to a guy that can run the ball 32 times in a game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Out of, what, 43 plays, 42 plays?
42, yeah,
42
all but
plays?
about 10 plays. He's got his hands on that football.
But I'm going to have to go with Murphy Clement. 2 passing touchdowns today, 7 carries, 101 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown. So 3 total touchdowns for Murphy Clement, just doing what he does every week.
Getting to be a habit for him, yeah, I was going to say, to be named the WVU Medicine Player of the Week. There you go, our award winners from this one. It's time for us to set you up for what comes next, and that is next week back at Coburn Field, the friendly confines for just the second time this season for the Bulldogs, and coming up in Week 6, and it's the Washington Patriots coming to town. They had a lead against Parkview the last we saw.
Yeah, I've not been able to get a score. Parkview has not sent out any tweets. They were the one that actually sent out their athletic department had sent out a tweet. I'm going to check again while we're right here. Okay. Washington did get the victory 21-12.
There you go. So a big win for the Patriots. They'll be coming off of that victory, headed to Coburn Field next week with a kickoff at 7 and our pregame at 6. Best of luck to the Hedgesville Eagles. As next up for them, they are on the road at Spring Mills. I imagine there might have been some Cardinals around here watching this one because they were off this week.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking there's going to be Cardinals. There's also going to be Appleman maybe potentially in the crowd. I don't know. I mean, they're both off this week, so.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. Don't go away. Nick Virzolini has the Extra Point postgame scoreboard show coming up from back at the studio. My broadcast partner is Spencer Dupuis, John Alderton, Donald Kinney, Colin McLaughlin running cameras, Colin on the sideline with some special reports and interviews as well. Our on-site producer, Donna Schaffner. It is Nick Virzolini at the studio. Thanks to Athletic Director Aaron Whitford. Thanks to both head coaches. And thanks to Martinsburg statistician Bill Harper, providing us with information, interviews, everything we needed to be able to get this broadcast on the air tonight. We always say thank you for joining us at each of our broadcast entities, and a thanks to each of our sponsors for helping to make it all possible. I'm Matt Miller reminding you, final tonight, it's Martinsburg 54, Hedgesville 6. Until next week, so long, everyone.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk. See dealer for details.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs. Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
Hello?
We're here again 3 times in the past 2 days.
You're where?
Bechtel Jewelers. Look.
Can Mom hear you?
No, she's in a diamond coma. Get her the pendant, or I will.
Hey, that's my credit card.
What? Can't hear you, Dad. You're breaking up.
It's going to take more than a crying baby to wake her out of this diamond coma. You're going to need a mega dose of jewelry from Bechtel Jewelers.
Welcome into the Palace Lounge post-game show, the home helpers of Martinsburg Extra Point Show, as Martinsburg gets the win tonight over Hedgesville 54-6. You just heard it, all the action from Hedgesville, and a big win as the Bulldogs stay undefeated. Hedgesville falling to 2-3 on the season. Other games in our area tonight, Jefferson beating Hagerstown, or North Hagerstown I should say, 56-13. Washington beats Parkview 21-12. So some good wins throughout the EPAC tonight. As we mentioned earlier, Musselman and Spring Mills were on bye this week, so no games for them. Now let's run down the scores throughout the Mountain State. Huntington leading Capital, trailed at the half 7-0, comes back, and it looks like the Highlanders are going to win that one 23-7 over Capital as they lead in the fourth quarter. AA Kaiser beats Hampshire tonight 50-14. Fairmont Senior falls to University 28-6. This was the shocker of the night. Not so much that Spring Valley won this football game, but the final score 46-8. Spring Valley over South Charleston in the Metro News Game of the Week. Did not live up to the hype. Cabell Midland beats Parkersburg, 45-6. Big win for Cabell Midland as well. Parkersburg South beats John Marshall 28-25 in an exciting game. And then Morgantown beating Woodrow Wilson right now on the last update, 21-13 in the fourth quarter. Over in 2A, Northern Garrett, Maryland beating Frankfort 28-6. Herbert Hoover crushes Citizenville 70-0 the final in that one. Polka, the Dots, beating Mingo Central 22-13. Bridgeport over Robert C. Byrd tonight 35-17. Liberty Raleigh leads Clay County 14-2. Don't hear the 2 very often. As a safety for Clay County, their only points so far in that one in the fourth quarter. Point Pleasant looks like they're going to get the win over AAA Lincoln County 48-20. Scott falling right now to Chapmanville, down by 3. Last update, 16-13. Winfield beats Logan 41-20. Oak Glen and Beaver Local, Ohio, was postponed. Berkeley Springs sneaks out a win tonight, 31-28 over Tucker County. Liberty Harrison leading Grafton, last updated 27-20. Nicholas County beating Wyoming East 53-8. The final in that one, Philip Barber led Elkins at the half, 12-0. No update on that score. Wayne defeats Nitro 28-14. And then we'll move on to Class A and close this one out. Excuse me. Doodridge County beats Ritchie County 29-26. Wheeling Central over the Man Hillbillies 49-21. Trinity beating Racine Southern Ohio 27-0. Moorfield over Petersburg 41-6. Sherman over Ravenswood 26-20.
Tyler consolidated over Rick County 32-0. Clay Hotel and Tigers Valley are in overtime in a 30-30 ball game. So I can't give you the final on that one. You'll have to check the score later on tonight. Payton City beats 100 42-0. Monroe Central of Ohio leading Magnolia 43-12. Pocahontas County over Richwood 28-0. Tug Valley beating Hurley of Virginia 43-8. And those are all the games that we have scores for you tonight. So an exciting night in the Mountain State. Number 1 Huntington looking to hold on to its spot with the win over Capital. Martinsburg, though, getting a big win over Hedgesville. And, of course, the big game that was kind of surprising, South Charleston falling to Spring Valley, meaning Spring Valley, when Martinsburg plays them, will certainly have a lot on the line. So that does it for your Extra Point post-game show. Make certain to tune in tomorrow as we have a noon kickoff for you between Shepherd and Kutztown, 11:30 pregame show. Travis Smith and I will have the call. And that's all from the studio, and we're done for the night. So have a good evening, everyone.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs. Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
Conveniently located at 440 Williamsport Pike in Martinsburg, Sunset Car Wash's staff specializes in keeping your car clean. From our famous 3-minute cloth wash to our touchless automatic and 6 self-serve bays. We offer whatever preference you have for your car wash needs. If your vehicle could talk, it would say, "Take me to Sunset Car Wash." That's Sunset Car Wash at 440 Williamsport Pike in Martinsburg. Locally owned and operated.
Hello?
We're here again 3 times in the past 2 days.
You're where?
Bechtel Jewelers. Look.
Can Mom hear you?
No, she's in a diamond coma. Get her the pendant, or I will.
Hey, that's my credit card.
What? Can't hear you, Dad. You're breaking up.
It's going to take more than a crying baby to wake her out of this diamond coma. You're going to need a mega dose of jewelry from Bechtel Jewelers.
And that concludes today's postgame show. Be sure to tune in each week throughout the regular and postseason for more West Virginia high school football. Today's game has been brought to you by
Bechtel Jewelers, The Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, Friends of Jason Barrett, Hagerstown Ford, The Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, Kelly Allstate Agency, Milestone Realty, Miller Honda, the Mid-Atlantic Group, the Mirius Group, Orsini's Home Store, the Palace Lounge, Parsons Ford, Rocks, Spring Valley Farm Market, Sunset Car Wash, the Sutton and Janelle Law Firm, Smallwood and Small Insurance, and WVU Medicine, Berkeley Medical Center, and Jefferson Medical Center.
For the best in high school, college, and NFL coverage all season long, keep it tuned in to Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. All rights reserved.